Well, 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 well. I can tell you
Wow.
as of an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, one of these things was not on this docket. But before we even get into that, good news, Tar Heel Nation. We are back. It is your boy, Tornado McCray, aka Maye McCray, captain of the Hooligan Express, and co-owner of it as well with Professor Farnsworth on this side of the Mississippi. And
Good news, everyone.
that gentleman over there is my co-host. Introduce yourself to the people, man.
What's good? What's happening? How you living? It's your boy, Ricebox 26. And we're back with another North Carolina Live.
So, first things first, appreciate all y'all for tuning in and tuning in every Wednesday. Join us here 9:15. Y'all know how we get down. Sometimes we run a little late. Huh?
You say Wednesday?
No, I said Tuesday.
I
I said
heard
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
I don't know what you heard. I know what I said.
But it's what you're hearing. Listen.
But join us here, 9:15. Y'all know how we get down, man. Good news. We got a lot to talk about. We're here. And I got wings. Bad news, I'm a little under the weather. And I don't even know why. So, apologies if I had to get up and go sniffle and do some things here and there. But as my co-host, as soon as we start the show, he has to walk away. I assume doing his fatherly duties.
Nope.
What were you doing?
Go on to the thing. Mind your business.
Wow. Okay. I'm under the weather. I'm needing a little extra help. And he want to be like that today? All right. You know what? Bump it. I'll carry the show my damn self.
Well, unfortunately, there's two of us, so I don't think you can do that.
I'll backpack us, but apparently Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Fame coach in the NFL. Boy, oh boy, if you have not checked the news, if you have not seen your ESPN app, if you work the night shift and you're just now opening up your phone because you've been asleep all day, that is the news. And I'm mad that you went and typed in one of the things in the docket because I wanted to get your natural reaction to that on camera. I didn't want you to know that information.
Oh, no, I saw that on the way home.
I didn't want you to know that, like, because I saw it from my source on The Athletic, and I was like, oh, that would be great to get his reaction live on camera for this. Like, if he doesn't know.
So Bleacher Report beat you to it.
Damn.
Yeah, I saw it on the way home about 2 hours, about an hour and a half ago. So not too long after we talked and we saw the information here, the thing came up from Bleacher Report. They beat you to it. So I had seen it already.
I hate you, Bleacher Report.
But I still got words.
I hate you, Bleacher Report. But for those of you who don't know, according to Adam Schefter, he broke the news, said Belichick fell short of the 40 out of 50 votes needed to go to the Hall of Fame, right? And obviously, Belichick said he was puzzled. He said he was puzzled and confused. Apparently, he told sources close to him, said 6 Super Bowls isn't enough. Obviously, talking about the 6 rings he won with New England Patriots, and then, he won 2 as a defensive coordinator with the New York Giants. And he's like, what does a guy have to do? And another source close to him said, politics kept him out. He doesn't believe this is a reflection on his accomplishments. So, what was the reason? As you may ask and as you may wonder. According to my source from The Athletic, Joseph Person, shout out Joseph. I always love Joseph. He always gives me great information. According to him, and this is and I'll pull up the tweet itself just so y'all can see what I saw. Because I even reacted to it on Twitter about this, man. it says, what the hell? Let's go. According to it, here it is. A voter who spoke on the condition of anonymity said Bill Polian, an ardent Kraft supporter and former general manager of the Bills and Colts, a Chiefs and Patriots rival during their dynasty, told voters Belichick should wait a year before induction as penance for Spygate. Oh man, Quan says the Hall of Fame system is broken. Oh
Bro,
man.
so let's just unpack this for a second.
As penance for Spygate.
So not just that. So another voter went on to say the only explanation for this outcome has to be the cheating stuff. Only way. The Hall of Fame system is broken. Yeah. So they said that's the only way that this makes sense is because of the cheating stuff that happened, because it bothered some guys, really bothered some of the voters. So but before we get into, so this is what I went to go grab, right? So
here's my thing though. You remember what we talked about on the phone? How it either had to be somebody from New England,
had to take it personally, had to be
personal. And to be from New England, from a rival, or it had to be somebody from the Tar Heels. It was like, yeah, no.
So as we take a quick minute to break some of this stuff down.
Oh so, Lord, you want so
you try to tell me. You want so you try to tell me. Yeah, bring me to the front. Bring me to the front. So as we break this down, right? So you trying to tell me Spygate and Deflategate, both of those things that only one thing was really proven to really have happened.
No, both were proven, but to be honest, Spygate ain't as bad.
One of them really matter.
Here's the thing: Spygate isn't as bad because of the simple fact that at the end of the day, you can always make the argument everybody looks at film. So
only one of those things actually mattered. And like Quan said, the Patriots were 19-1 the year the Spygate leaked. Spygate made no difference. They still lost the Super Bowl. Exactly.
They went 18-1 or 17-1. No, 18-1.
Whatever. They lost the one game when it mattered.
Yeah. Anyway, 18-1.
Anyway, let's break this down for a second. Over 24 seasons. This man has had 333 wins, which is the second all time. 6 Super Bowls, 17 AFC East titles, which is the most in NFL history. 13 AFC championship games, 31 playoff wins, which is also the most in NFL history, and 3-time AP NFL Coach of the Year. And you gonna sit here and tell me this man is a second ballot Hall of Famer? First ballot Hall of Fame. J.J. Watt even said, I don't know, I'm even reading this correctly. When I tell you this lit the NFL on fire.
Bro, as much as listen, I'll be the first to tell you, I hated the reign of Belichick because I was a part of the losses. As a Panthers fan, I was a part of them. I hated the reign of Belichick. My Panthers were the second Super Bowl loss. That was we were his second Super Bowl championship. So I've always had a disdain for Belichick since then. But even as much disdain as I have in my heart for when Belichick was a New England Patriots coach, there was not a shadow of doubt in my mind that Belichick was going into the Hall of Fame first ballot. I hated
Belichick during his coaching years. Because check this out, because Julian Edelman says, shaking my head, David Andrews is like, what are we even voting on? Jason McCourty, the amount of time he would spend in meetings discussing the history of each team from ownership down to players was unreal. Idiotic that he's not a first ballot. David Gotcho, I guess winning doesn't mean much these days, huh? This might be the dumbest shit that you will see. You will see. Has to be more behind this, but this would never make sense.
Hey, this is the same week that we just found out, not even 48 hours ago, that Shedeur Sanders is going to the Pro Bowl.
He's a Hall of Fame. Is a Pro Bowler, and it's the first Pro Bowler of one Stefanski's career, his 6 years in Cleveland, And I think it's the first Pro Bowler that the Browns have had in a long time.
He's the first
outside
Pro
of
Bowl
Myles
quarterback
Garrett.
they've had. He's the first Pro Bowl quarterback they've had since I think '98 or since the '90s, bro.
For a long time. So you gonna sit here and tell
this
me
is the wildest week ever.
Every voter who voted needs to be revealed, stripped, and banned from ever working in football again.
Whoever voted against him, every voter who voted against him, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go.
So,
like, I'm sorry.
And you know the biggest question about all of this.
What does this do for Brady? What does this do for Brady?
Not just Brady. Brady's here's the thing. Brady's the minor piece of this.
The Hall of Fame is screwed from now on. Terrell Owens, you're never getting in. You're never getting in.
Brady is a minor problem for this.
The Hall of Fame is screwed.
Because check this out. Because not only is this costing Bill Belichick, this is costing Mike Shanahan, Tom Coughlin, and Mike Holmgren. Because now, since you didn't vote Bill in, this is now pushing it. Because according to Peter King,
it pushes them back for the next class. And now they can lose a spot to
all three of these coaches back a year. All three of them. And you have to ask yourself, what does the coaches committee do next year? Are they going to get to again advance Belichick? And wouldn't it be embarrassing if they don't? This decision has a major impact beyond just 1 year. So my thing is, yes, the Deflategate and the Spygate thing happened. Whatever. Like, I get it. I was on that train to tell them, nah, if they cheated, prove it, like, get them out of here. Suspend them, do whatever. Do anything you can to keep them from getting in the Super Bowl.
I always hated the fact that their punishment was only a 4-game suspension, but they kept the title, especially for the Deflategate year. I was like, bro, that was proven. Like, that's legitimately cheating.
I'm gonna say this. The Deflategate thing was the stupidest gate that I've seen in a long time.
Like, out of the 3 scandals that the Patriots have, Tuck Rule, Deflategate, and Spygate.
Deflategate was the dumbest.
No, I think Spygate was the dumbest because I'm like, that's just film session. Sorry.
No, that one I couldn't let slide by. The reason why, because they weren't just filming the plays, they were filming the hand signals.
Okay.
That's different. That was what Spygate was.
Okay. I thought it was just they were filming like plays when they weren't supposed to be filming the plays.
No, they were filming hand signals while they were filming the plays.
Oh yeah, okay. Now you out of pocket.
But like, that's what the problem with Spygate was. So because they did the same thing with because the same thing happened with Michigan just recently with Harbaugh and them. That was the same thing that Michigan got.
I remember that. And the bad part is the thing with Michigan though. The reason why theirs got in trouble is because bro started going to games that Michigan wasn't even playing in.
But here's the thing. Like I said, if I remember what the guy said, he just liked football.
No, he just liked football, but he was working he was like helping Michigan and was going to like Ohio State versus A&M games and things like that, like clear across the country when everybody knew he was part of like Michigan staff and so on and so forth. But we ain't talking about that. We talk like when it comes down to this.
I know we're not talking about that, but I'm gonna make it real quick. But my problem with that was, okay, you don't go scouting teams when you're not playing them.
I mean, true.
Like so you telling me that none of these organizations,
if Kraft gets in this year, Belichick does it, all hell's going to break loose, bro. Here's my
Kraft is in as far as I know.
Here's my thing: all hell's going to break loose regardless, because the ramifications on the Hall of Fame in general now are out the window for what is for what's a first ballot and what's not. Not only for coaches,
and now talking about Brady,
for players too. Because like I said, with Brady. If you're gonna make this the reason as to why Belichick doesn't get in, Spygate, Deflategate is the reason.
Has to be the
Brady,
reason that
you can't let Brady go in first ballot.
You can't let Brady go in now. You have to keep him out of next year for the exact same reason.
I'm gonna say this as quiet as it's kept. As much as I hate Tom Brady, that would be a damn lie if you say Tom Brady's not first ballot Hall of Fame.
As much as I
hate the man,
just like you said, as much as I hate Tom Brady, from a football standpoint,
not man to man.
No, I don't like Tom Brady as a person either. Well, but that's not the point.
I don't care for him. I'll say that. I don't hate him. I don't care for him. But in football, I hate him.
But I will say he's hilarious outside of football. Actually, he's hilarious in general. I'll give him that too.
Rip the
But at the end of the day, is if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, baby. Get that edge for UNC too. All these dudes cheating in college football with money, and they always have been. I mean, that's another conversation. But at the end of the day, it's like if you gonna talk about it, now you have to keep Brady out. To be honest, now you have to keep several Patriots out for this exact same reason.
Edelman, flipping whatchamacallit, Wes Welker, Gronkowski. Well, Gronkowski wasn't. He was for Deflategate. He wasn't for Spygate. But Gronkowski.
But you got to keep him out. But you got to talk. But it's the same conversation. He was a part of a gate. You got to keep him out.
Like, bro, if that's the reason you're going to hold Bill Belichick out of being a first ballot Hall of Fame, that means every Patriot up for Hall of Fame. If that's the reason, you gotta hold. You can't not. You simply cannot.
Vince Wilfork.
Yep.
You can't keep Vince Wilfork out. You can't say that man isn't Hall of Fame. Jason McCourty. Both of the McCourty brothers.
You created a whole situation and a whole issue with your voting, because then not only that, going forward, you're gonna sit there and look and be like, okay, so you mean to tell me, respect to him, because I respect this man dearly, Andy Reid's first ballot, but Bill Belichick ain't?
He said, "You right, it's bad regardless, but we'll be." Oh, it's going to be absolutely even worse if Kraft gets in. But Kraft is getting in. Kraft is in, as far as I know.
If Kraft gets in, and Belichick doesn't, oh my sweet Jesus, Joseph and Mary.
Because hold on. Because as of right now, they're saying Robert Kraft can make history before Belichick.
Bill won 3 more Super Bowls after Spygate. He won 2 more rings after Deflategate. It made no difference. Deflategate it kind of did. Deflategate it kind of did, because that was literally the AFC title game.
But once again, I get that you were mad that the ball itself was a little underflated. I get it.
No,
but here's
he wasn't mad. Brady told him to deflate the ball because nobody could catch it. That was the reason. That was the whole point of Deflategate. Take air out the ball in cold weather, made it easier to catch and made it easier to throw. That was the whole reason.
I know about the throwing piece.
It made it easier. Because even in college, like when we were doing like spring practice and whatnot, they would take out the air in college sometimes just a little bit. It wasn't much, but coach was like, listen, I'm gonna show you how there's a difference. Y'all want to know why Deflategate was such a big thing? Because we had asked about it. Coach took out the air because one of the balls was frozen. It was like first week of February, right? It was cold. So coach took the air out of one ball, but had another ball college pumped up to regular standards.
Right.
So much easier to catch the deflated ball in cold weather than it was the fully pumped up ball. Not even gonna lie. So Deflategate definitely makes a difference, especially when you know after that you're going to a neutral site where it's warm and you ain't got to worry about that. So to say Deflategate didn't make a difference, you did it in the AFC title game when you had home field advantage, and you knew you had that home field advantage. You knew that's what you were going to.
It makes a difference. I think the biggest part of the argument where they missed. So I'm not saying it stopped Bill from winning. No, nobody's disagreeing that it stopped Bill from winning. Nobody's saying that. I think the biggest part of that argument that they didn't make for Deflategate was you're in cold weather. Things filled with air in cold weather tend to lose PSI in cold weather. It is just a natural scientific thing that happens. Now, would anybody have believed you? No, because they have a whole cabinet where these balls sit in.
I was about to say, I think they tried to make that argument, but it's like every other game in cold weather has never lost air like that. And plus, they have the ball boys that always keep them constantly pumped up. And
not just that, like I said, they keep them in a whole, like, I think heated cabinet or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on it, but like you can fact check me on it. I have no idea. But I know they keep them in a box and stuff like that to protect it from the elements and stuff. But
it affects not only the Patriots, all the Patriots affected going forward.
Oh yeah.
Especially if Kraft gets in, now you really make this whole thing convoluted.
Oh, listen, if Kraft gets in, it comes back to the same thing I told you. Somebody took it personal.
Somebody took it personal. The simple fact that this one anonymous voter said Bill Polian himself was like, no, Belichick needs to serve penance for this. Okay.
And here's the thing. Bill Polian came and said, no, that didn't happen. I voted for Bill.
Just because you voted for him does not mean you didn't say it.
Because he's like, no.
Two things can be true.
It can be, because he said, no, I didn't have any sway over this vote. I didn't say what whoever said I said that. I voted for the man. He said, I had no sway over people's votes and none of that. I didn't say none of what they said I said.
Nah, I think Bill might have said that, but because he didn't expect his name to get airdropped, he didn't expect his name to get dropped off. Like, just, hey, yo, Bill Polian said it. Hey, whoa, we airing me out.
Was it? Whoa, what did I say? What you say I said? I didn't say that.
So now Bill Polian obviously ain't trying to catch the wrath of Belichick and the pistosity that comes with it. He's like, no, I ain't say that. I ain't say none of that. But, bro, because you got that, the Patriots are affected. Even the criteria of what is a first ballot Hall of Famer going forward now, because there's always going to be the question now. If you have a guy like Sean McVay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Sean McVay goes on to win another Super Bowl like in the next 2 years. Wins another Super Bowl, so on and so forth, and then finally retires. If Sean McVay gets first ballot and Belichick doesn't, if Andy Reid gets first ballot, Belichick doesn't, if Mike Tomlin gets first ballot and Belichick doesn't, if Mike McCarthy, when he retires, gets first ballot and Belichick doesn't, that alone is going to discredit the entire Hall of Fame, because people are going to look, like you said, with the numbers to back it up.
Now, I'll say this. I'll say the only name on that list that I don't think would set the world on fire is Andy Reid. Like Andy Reid is everybody
disgruntled. People are going
to. Oh yeah, everybody's going to be disgruntled. Oh yeah, no, there's still going to be issues.
Like,
but I think people have less problems.
Andy Reid is the only name you're going to get the least mad, but you're still going to get some disgruntled.
You're going to get the least clapback over Andy Reid than you would everybody else on that list. McVay, Tom, Harbaugh, all of them.
Everybody else,
you have all kinds of problems with everybody else, but Andy Reid.
You have to have an Andy Reid or better resume for people not to be mad. Going forward, every coach has
like top 10 winningest coaches of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Andy Reid will be on the list. It's like, sure, he hasn't won 6 Super Bowls, but he's won like
3. Yeah, he's got 3. They've won 3 in the last 5.
He got one with Philadelphia.
No, he didn't.
Did he not? Well, not with the McNabb years?
No, they got to the Super Bowl. They didn't win. They lost to Brady. The year Terrell Owens played with the broken leg, Super Bowl 39.
I thought they won that one. My bad.
No, that was the year.
Oh, what's good, Cobb?
What's good, Cobb? We were looking for you last week. Nah, Super Bowl 39. Because
that's all right.
You want to know why I know? Because that was the year after they played the Panthers. They played the Panthers in 38 and won 39. They didn't play in 37, but won 36 in 01 against the Rams. Because they beat the Rams.
Well, no, he technically does have 4, but he was an assistant with one of them.
He was an assistant, but I'm talking about head coach.
You know, head coaching wise, no, he has 3 head coaching wise. He has 4 total. But like, we're not counting assistants, because he won one as an assistant coach with the Packers in 97.
Long day, fell asleep. Well, did you see the news that Belichick ain't a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah, Belichick did not make the list.
Andy Reid. Hey, I'll do you one better.
Still under consideration somehow.
I'll do you one better. Andy Reid is not only top 10. Andy Reid is top 5 in wins all time as a coach. So Andy Reid right now, and he's behind George Halas, Bill Belichick, Don Shula.
Yeah.
And the simple fact that Mahomes is probably going to come back.
Right, Kyle. Right. We were all the same way.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because
Yeah.
I got connections.
He gonna bring it back just for Cobb too.
Hold on. So Bron James said it's impossible, egregious, and quite frankly disrespectful. Patrick Mahomes said it's insane. Don't even understand how this could happen. Jimmy Johnson, I would like to know the names of the assholes who did not vote for him. Themselves.
Hey, I want to know, bro. Everybody.
JJ Watson, I can't be reading this way. This has to be some knockoff Hall of Fame or something. It can't be the actual NFL Hall of Fame. There's not a single word whatsoever where Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Like
even Adam Schefter got into it.
Like there's no way. Like
so Peter King himself said this when he was told that Bill Belichick isn't the first ballot Hall of Famer. Peter King has been a Hall of Fame voter for 32 years. This is the first year he hasn't put in his ballot. That man said, and listen, guys, I'm cussing. This is and quote, holy fuck. Oh, fuck. I'm very, very surprised.
Bro. Hey, somebody put up No. Cobb. They said it is because of Spygate and Deflategate. It is because of Spygate and Deflategate. That's why.
The balls deflated for everyone. It was just the Pats.
It was just the Pats.
So Tom Brady had asked his sideline staff to deflate the ball just a little bit to make it easier to catch.
Yeah. It is not a third party. He had his ball boy.
So each team has a staff, has a crew that handles the game balls every week. He goes to the ball boy directly and asks the ball boy to deflate the ball during the game, by the way. Not before the game or after the game, during the game. Say
it was right after halftime. It was right after halftime because the first half they weren't catching anything and it was hard to throw and whatnot. They go into halftime. He tells them he's like deflate it, and next thing you know they're starting to make all these catches.
Because the problem with that happening was had he not done that, the Indianapolis Colts would have beat the Patriots that year.
Was it the Colts that year they did that?
How dumb is that by NFL? Even in backyard football, will let someone invested handle the ball?
Because up until then nobody had done it.
It was the first time it's ever happened because they keep it to a certain standard. Everybody follows the rules, but at the time, Tom Brady was special.
That was the Colts. You're right. That was the Colts. Because wouldn't that have been the year Luck would have went to Super Bowl?
That was the year Andrew Luck would have went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Because that was one of the years that Andrew Luck had brought them back in that game.
Bruh, that's so
because the Colts were handling business strategy.
Because check this out, right? So I'm looking at it right now.
Bro, they probably got away with it before. First time someone got caught but never let the house handle it. Here's the thing. They probably still would have got away with it had Tom just not told him, I told the ball boy to do it.
So,
because Indianapolis, how they found out was Indianapolis was the one that made the claim because they found out one of their ball boys had picked up the ball for the Patriots, or one of the players picked it up and realized the ball fell flat and brought it up to the refs or the commissioner or brought it up to one of the coaching staff after the game, and they put in the complaint to the commissioner about it. So they did this whole investigation post the season, post game, and started checking them.
So check this out. I got it. Ready? So here's so during the first half of the AFC title game, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady threw an interception to Colts linebacker DeQuell Jackson. After the play was over, Jackson handed the ball to the Colts equipment manager for safekeeping as a souvenir. Early reports suggested that Jackson was the first to suspect the ball was deflated, but Jackson said he did not notice anything wrong when he caught it. Jackson says he actually did not even know the ball was taken or that controversy existed until he was driven home from the team's charter plane after the Colts arrived in Indy. He's like, I wouldn't know that it could even be an advantage or disadvantage. He's like, at halftime, NFL officials inspected the footballs. Former referee Austin initially and incorrectly stated that 11 of the 12 balls used were measured to be 2 pounds per square inch below the minimum amount. But later reports contradicted the allegations, stating that only a single ball was 2 pounds below it, while others were just a few ticks under the minimum. It was subsequently revealed that in the NFL official measurement sequence, 5 of the 11 balls measured below 11 psi. This being less than
Brady got caught lacking with that pick. My dog got to be clean if he pulling that shit. Exactly. It was amazing to me that I never liked the Patriots, but they are part of my favorite teams, UNC and the Raiders.
And here's the thing: they said before, and some people who were asking, they're like, why wouldn't the NFL have like people to do that or whatever? They said before 06, normal NFL operating procedure was for the home team to provide all the game's football. In 2006, the rules were altered so that each team uses its own footballs while on offense. Teams rarely handle a football used by the other team except after recovering a fumble or interception. Brady, along with Peyton Manning, who started for the Colts in 06, argued for the rules to change for express purpose of letting quarterbacks use footballs that suited them. Removing air from a football makes it easier to grip, throw, and catch. So after halftime, my thing is this. The initial report flat out said 11 of the 12 were under. This man deflated almost every ball, bro.
So what about Spygate? Were they stealing signals from just during games they had on? So Spygate, what had happened with Spygate was a wild situation. So what it was one of the staff members,
Cleveland, of all.
So yeah, one of the staff members was I think it was like at a Cleveland practice or one of the team's practices. And they were recording the practices, but yeah, what they were also doing was recording the hand signals that the coaches threw out for the plays. And I think they did that for like 2 or 3 teams is what happened. Cleveland is the one they got caught at because they saw the staff member from the Patriots in the stands recording the practice, but the camera itself. And when they went and inspected it later, saw that the camera was pointed directly at the sideline and not at the plays.
A good coach knows how to bend the rules without breaking them. Shoot, tell that to the Houston Astros.
Shoot, say, damn, that's why they were going to go. They were going into practices. Can't really defend that. But right, and like I said, and it wasn't and for a lot of teams in the argument, it wasn't an unfamiliar practice to go into the practices and record the plays that ran. But the problem, and this was like prior to games or whatever, but the problem was they were recording the sideline directly. So they weren't just recording the plays, they were recording the hand signals the coaches threw out to signal each play. So, and then they were bringing that back.
No, it ain't just during the game, man. It ain't just during the game. But boy, the ramifications, I think Brady just saw his first ballot go out the window. Gronkowski just saw his first ballot go out the window. Like, if you got to be consistent, that's what just happened. If the NFL committee if the voting committee wants to be consistent, that's exactly what just happened. Brady's first ballot went out the window. Gronkowski's went out the window. Edelman's went out the window.
So it began with the Patriots were disciplined from the NFL by videotaping the New York Jets defensive coaches' signals from an unauthorized location. Videotaping opposing coaches is not illegal in NFL per se. There are designated areas allowed by the league to do such taping because the Patriots were instead videotaping the Jets coaches from their own sideline during the game. NFL Roger Goodell deemed it to be a violation of the league rules, stating that the act represented a calculated and deliberate attempt to avoid longstanding rules designed to encourage fair play and promote honest competition on the playing field. After the investigation, NFL fined Patriots Bill Belichick $500,000 for his role in the incident and fined the Patriots $250,000 or $250,000 and docked the team their original first-round selection in the 2008 draft, which would have been the 31st pick of the draft. It said after their probe, NFL required the Patriots to turn over any and all notes and tapes related to the tapes of opponents' defensive signals. The Patriots refused to allow the tapes to leave their athletic facilities. In turn, at Goodell's ordering, league officials went to the Patriots facilities and smashed the tapes.
Not smash the tapes.
Because the Patriots wouldn't allow the tapes to leave the facility.
So Goodell said, we coming in there, bro. Woo! All I know is man. The cop says we definitely not going in practices now. You thought it was bad before. Hey. Well, y'all realize Bill drafted 9-10 starters and 4-5 rotation guys on the Super Bowl team? Yeah.
Because basically they were filming the coaches from the sidelines and they weren't supposed to do that.
Listen, this is going to be this is going to be interesting, to say the least. Going forward next year, the year after that, it's going to be interesting. But speaking of Super Bowls, because we all know all the Super Bowls that Bill won, shout out to Drake Maye and the New England Patriots. I'm doing that specifically because Drake Maye goes to UNC. Now, if I'm being honest with y'all, and I'm being truthful, I hate the Patriots. So I want the Seahawks to win, especially to atone for Pete Carroll's dumb mistake.
I'll still never get over that.
I will still never forgive Pete Carroll for that.
I will never get over that.
I still will never forgive Pete Carroll for that. But Drake Maye, do your thing, boy. Do your thing.
Like,
you do you.
Like, I just don't understand.
You, me, none of us understand.
Because I'm now having flashbacks. I remember,
bruh.
He said me too, but I like Drake. I mean, like I said, nothing against Drake.
Nothing against Drake Maye. I ain't got nothing against Drake Maye. I will give him his flowers. Like I said, Drake Maye, you go do your thing, bro. Go do your thing.
Nothing against Drake Maye. Nothing against Mike Vrabel. The Patriots as an organization.
But the Patriots as an organization, I just can't do it. Won't do it. You stole my Panthers' first chance at a championship. I can't do it. And I already know that man over there, he has enough vendetta alone for his. He has more hate than probably I do.
Like, you had Marshawn Lynch in your backfield on the 1 yard line
with 2 timeouts.
It was 4th down. Timeouts.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was not. It was not 4th down. It was not. You want to know why I know that? Because they had just thrown the ball to Curse on the sideline. He had made that miraculous catch, got up, ran, got within the 2. They had the ball on the 2-3 yard line with 2 timeouts in their bag. And it was 2nd down. It was not 4th down. I could tell you that. Because I could tell you that for a fact. Let's see. Because what was that? The Malcolm Butler play?
Yeah. And we hired him. We did hire him. So, y'all did hire him. Like, one, I feel like they really shouldn't have did that after Seahawks let him go. Once the Seahawks let Pete Carroll go, that should have told y'all his time was up.
My apologies. They had 1 timeout. However, it is 1st down on the 5 yard line. It is 1st down on the 5 yard line. They run it to Marshawn 1 time. And it's like, all right, cool. You have time. You ain't got to worry. You have time. You're on the what? The man just ran 4 yards.
Like, y'all were killing it. You had Marshawn Lynch in y'all backfield. Tom Brady was on the sidelines, head in his hands, done.
I say the Raiders don't have enough help to. It's like
Tom Brady knew without a shadow of a doubt
it was over.
that this game was over.
I knew I didn't like this setup the moment they came to the line. I said, unless you are throwing an out, this is a dumb play. Run this ball. And they never did. And I'm not going to put myself through that pain.
First of all, thing. There we go. Like, first of all. But yeah,
oh my God.
Like the whole world knew. When I tell you the entire globe watching this Super Bowl knew Marshawn Lynch is getting this ball, this game is over.
And then you threw it. And I'm like,
why? Threw it. Not only did you throw it, but dude ran the laziest slant route I have ever seen.
Bro.
Honestly, the Raiders don't have enough talent to help any coach.
What down was it?
It was second down.
It was second down, bro.
Second and goal, one timeout.
Why? Why would you do that, IG? Why would you do that to me?
Because IG hates you.
It does. Second down. Second and goal. 1 yard line.
Second and goal.
Marshawn's right there.
Even if you ran it once, you still could have called a timeout. You had like 11 seconds left.
Bro.
That's 2 plays.
Here's my thing. Why are you even in shotgun in this situation? I formation downhill. Oh.
Outcoached himself. Exactly. Outcoached himself. But back to this here for Quan. Honestly, the Raiders don't have enough talent to help any coach. I don't think that's true. I think the Raiders have enough talent to look decent. Do I think they're going to win anything legitimately for a little bit? No. They're still in a building era. But they had the pieces. What they really needed was an offensive line that they don't have in a quarterback. Because really, at the end of the day, that whoever the owner is needs to be removed from his spot for sure. Old buddy with the 80-year-old man with the 5-year-old haircut needs to stop.
Oh, you talking about
Davis? I don't care what his name is. All I know is that walking thumb needs to step down from his position or just let it go.
You were always violent towards that man.
His whole being. You telling me you see that man and the first thing you think of is not knocking him out for the nonsense he's walking around with every day.
You talking about Maye?
And like I said, and nothing against you. You're right. That offensive line is hot garbage. Will not argue that. But they have talent on the team. They have talent. They just need an offensive line and a quarterback worth half a dang. Delusional Dallas
What's wrong
fans.
with Mark Davis? I'm crying. Help.
Pete Carroll's son. That's the only reason why Pete was there.
I didn't even know Pete Carroll had a son. Ooh. Oh my God, I'm legit.
Mute for a minute. I'm muting you for a minute. I want to hear you.
Why? Why you doing me like that? Come on, let me live, bro. Oh, sweet Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, that was funny.
Like
Woo.
every bone in when I tell you I had to reject the ultimate instinct to want to strike this man down.
Oh my God. Oh
Like,
my goodness.
how can you be the worst thing that has happened to the team
think-
that you owned in more than one way?
You think that's bad? You thought Bill was bad. That man got a 26-year-old girlfriend, Mark Davis, the one I just showed you.
I don't care. I don't care about that. That is the least angry thing. That's the least infuriating thing about him.
Oh my God.
You walk around with this 5-year-old boy haircut.
Oh my God.
On a regular, you look like a thumb.
That 1983 bowl.
Not even 1980s. This is a 1912. Put a salad bowl on top of this boy head and cut. You cut that yourself.
That's a bowl. That's a bowl cut I'd see in Stranger Things or It Chapter 1.
Byron, that is the literal. Put a bowl on top of my head and just cut the strands to the length of the bowl. That's what that is. That is a cereal bowl haircut.
Oh my goodness.
And you do that. And the bad thing is you're multimillionaire and you do that yourself every day. Every day. And even worse, when you get it tapered on the sides, it's still the bowl cut. You get a tapered bowl, bro. What are you doing?
Oh man. Here's the bad part. Here's the bad part.
Sir, you are nearing a century-year-old.
How does he actually look?
You say a little embarrassing, Cobb. That is entire Cobb.
Here's the bad part.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Hold on. I'm gonna ask you a question. Who have you seen that makes that a little embarrassing? Who have you seen that looks more embarrassing than that with that amount of money?
He didn't have the bowl at one point, and it looked better.
Of course it did.
Because this is him without the bowl.
See, look at you. Now you look like you've been somewhere.
That's him without the bowl.
Now you look like you age. I don't like that little nipple piece in the middle of his forehead, but
whatever.
I mean, he still got the bowl. He just got the mullet in the back.
But
he likes the Beatles or something. I don't know what he likes.
I guess, bro.
I don't know what he likes. And tell you the truth, my real comment, I'm not gonna say on the show because I don't want us getting in trouble. Banned. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Bans, whatever. I don't want this episode getting blocked. I can't.
But yeah, Drake Maye has the Patriots going to their first Super Bowl since 2019 when they played the Rams in that snooze fest, 13-3. That, bro, I remember because I was at OTS. I was at OTS for the military during that Super Bowl. Bro, that was the most boring Super Bowl to the point we were doing a project during the Super Bowl.
You finished the project?
Not even finished the project. Bro, we forgot the game was on.
Yeah, no, that's about how that game was. The game was terrible. Like it wasn't a terrible game.
Because we all thought that was
all standpoint.
Bro, we all thought that game was going to be like a high-powered, high-scoring game because it was like Todd Gurley, McVay, all them. The Patriots. I was like, okay, cool. Bro, it wasn't even straight defense. It was just bad offense. Like on both sides. Like I can't even say it was straight defense because we didn't have no interceptions or anything like that. It was
defense was the only thing to talk about. Straight defense.
That wasn't even that because I don't remember any sacks. I don't remember any big breakups. None of that. There was one big play and that was it. And that Super Bowl was
there were several sacks, but like I said, it was just straight defense. So it wasn't like it wasn't a super entertaining game for a lot of people. So nobody really talked about it.
So
somebody said it was the most ill-gotten Super Bowl that anybody's ever seen.
It was horrible. It was a horrible Super Bowl because Brady goes 21-35 for one interception. Goff goes 19-38 for one interception. Sony Michel had 18 carries for 94 yards and 1 TD. Todd Gurley, that was a game Todd Gurley just disappeared and just never was found again for some reason.
That was the game after they started talking a lot about his knee issue.
It was like
this was that knee issue thing started coming up.
This is the lowest scoring Super Bowl ever.
Yeah.
And there were only 3 total sacks.
Yeah, I remember.
This game was boring. This game was trash. It wasn't even that great. It was
straight
horrible.
Defense.
No. It was just a straight snooze fest, bro. But
straight defense.
He does that. And in the AFC title game this weekend, Drake Maye didn't do much, to be honest. He went 10 of 21 for 86 yards. Granted, that weather did play a huge effect.
Oh, that weather.
Now I will say this: he could have put up numbers. He could have put up numbers in the first half, but that Denver defense was that Denver defense. Like that defense ain't nothing to play with. But that once that second half came, it was just who was going to make the first mistake. Which quarterback was going to be the one?
And Jarrett Stidham continued to make those.
Jarrett Stidham, that last interception, I was like, bro, I knew that dude. I knew that dude was. Here's the bad part. As soon as Stidham threw it, I knew the dude was covered, and I didn't even have to see it. Like as soon as the play snapped, I was like, okay, don't throw it to the guy on the right at the top of the screen because he's already covered. I can tell you that. Then he just throws it up. I'm like, why?
And tell you the truth, here's the thing. I don't even think he was covered that well. I think if you actually put some oomph on that ball, you might have threw Mims open. Because Mims had the advantage. Mims had the advantage in that route because Gonzalez would have had to also turn around to take off running.
Gonzalez
and in that snow and ice,
safety helped though too.
He didn't.
He did.
That safety. No, he didn't. That safety wouldn't have made it.
I think he would have.
Because that safety was sitting over top of the slot. Because had he kept, that's why he threw it in the first place, because the safety came down over top of the slot, and he kept it outside and actually put oomph on the ball, he would have threw Mims open. Mm. But because you just kind of lackadaisically just floated it up in the air, ball got caught in the wind. All Gonzalez had to do was just stand there and wait for the ball to come down. Yeah, because you saw Gonzalez only took like 4 steps backwards.
It was bad.
The ball. It was.
Now that 4th down play that Peyton took in the first half, what he should have just took the field goal. That was
should just get.
It's like I didn't want Devontae Adams nor the Broncos. Jesus,
what's wrong with the? Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was about to ask, what's wrong with Devontae?
Hey, to be honest,
I get it. It's not his fault though.
I get it, but I'm gonna be real with you.
That wasn't
David Carr kind of ruined that, and then it was Derek. Derek Carr kind of ruined that one because they tried to team up, and then Derek Carr was just bad while he was there. But he wasn't. Actually, I'll take that back. Derek Carr wasn't bad, but he wasn't.
It wasn't Derek Carr's fault. It was the play. It was whoever the OC was. The offense wasn't set up well at all. Derek Carr played too much hero ball and screwed everything up. Devontae couldn't stay healthy. It was a whole problem. It wasn't all Devontae's fault.
It wasn't all Devontae's fault.
The coaching staff had a bid.
They also screwed over Antonio Pierce while he was there.
Adams cried too much. And they did screw up Antonio Pierce while he was there.
I ain't gonna say Adams cried too much because here's the thing: when you have a number 1 receiver who is as good of a route runner as Devontae Adams, you do want the ball thrown your way.
Going from being the legit number 1 on a team that you've been on, especially with a legit number 1 quarterback like you had with Aaron Rodgers for so long, you have expectations.
You have expectations.
And then all the chemistry he was already supposed to have with Derek Carr when he got to Oakland, and it wasn't there anymore.
It was not there at all. So I'm not gonna say. Think about it. Any great receiver, especially when they get their one-on-ones, receivers got egos, and when they get their one-on-one matchups, especially if they beat that one-on-one,
I admit the way he left was
the way he left was wild.
The way he left was wild.
But I will say this: the way he left was not as bad as the way Antonio Brown left y'all.
Oh, bro. Antonio Brown.
Antonio did y'all way worse. Antonio did y'all way worse than what Devontae.
At least Devontae played. At least Devontae tried to play.
Like, I'll say that.
At least Devontae was at least putting up numbers for y'all.
But But Maye
You just leave
actually,
and move on. I mean, I feel you.
but Drake Maye actually became UNC's very first quarterback ever to lead a Super Bowl to lead a team to the Super Bowl. So shout out Drake Maye for that, making UNC history. And he is not the only Tar Heel that will be playing in the Super Bowl. You have wide receiver Matt Collins, and as well as Maye's teammate at UNC, Amari Joyner.
Hey,
The king of pessimism has returned.
AB is the worst.
Seahawks about belt. Hey, BTAs.
We'll see.
Sloth, we said you're the reason. We said you're the reason Belichick missed out on going to the Hall of Fame.
We also said you're the reason why North Carolina lost to Stanford.
Oh yeah, this man is preying on her. Anytime Hubert Davis wins, Sloth is mad. Sloth just grinds his teeth in his sleep.
This man be putting up voodoo rituals at home.
He saw them losing to Virginia. He said, "Good."
Then they won. Damn.
But you had Matt Collins and Amari.
UVA. I mean, we did it though.
Hey, we did, and we're gonna talk about it. Like I said, Matt Collins and Amari Joyner are New England, and also the Seattle Seahawks have a UNC player, Shaz Surratt. He plays for Seattle. However, he will be on IR, so unfortunately, he will not be playing in this game. Sad to see it. But a UNC Tar Heel will win a championship, will win a Super Bowl this upcoming Super Bowl, which actually adds.
We did. I'll definitely admit, and we still shot free throws like terribly.
Yeah, which I think UVA again. No, he's still on the hot seat.
We have Bricks making over three, making every three. Listen,
he's still on the warm seat.
Yeah, he's still on the hot seat there.
Because at least one Tar Heel is going to win the championship. I went and found a list of actual Super Bowl winners, that Tar Heel Super Bowl winners in history. So this is every Tar Heel that has won a Super Bowl. You want me to go from most recent to first, or first to most recent?
So I'm going to go ahead and say, before we get into this list, I didn't know Matt Collins was on that Philadelphia Eagles team.
Yes, he was.
Had no idea.
So you want me to go most recent to first, or first to most recent?
We'll just go to most recent to first.
All right. So TJ Logan won it with the Tampa Bay.
I still think we lose to Duke 2 times, Louisville and Clemson, and maybe the U. So crazy thing is, the U and Nebraska are the only 2 teams left undefeated this year.
Weird,
right? Because Michigan just beat somebody tonight. Yeah, I do remember Matt Collins as a Raider.
Yeah,
and he was solid as a Raider. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's been a decent receiver for all his career. He doesn't just get the shine he needs to. Yeah, we're not getting Wes Miller.
Not. You got TJ Logan with the Bucks for Super Bowl 55, Matt Collins with the Eagles for Super Bowl 52, Sylvester Williams with the Broncos for Super Bowl 50. I'm hurt. Michael McAdoo for the Ravens for Super Bowl 47. Then you got Marvin Austin with the Giants. My fault, y'all.
Yeah, Marvin Austin, Hakeem Nicks for the Giants, Jeff Reed, Willie Parker, Greg Warren, all for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Madison Hedgecock for the Giants, Russell Davis for the Giants,
and 42.
Jeff Saturday. I didn't know Jeff Saturday was a Tar Heel. Dexter Reed, both for the Indianapolis Colts. Greg Warren, Jeff Reed, Willie Parker for the Pittsburgh Steelers,
and 40.
Dexter Reed, Riddick Parker for the Patriots.
Actually, those are different. Are those different Super Bowls? Yeah,
they are different Super Bowls.
They do. Yeah, Reed was with Super Bowl 39, and then Parker was Super Bowl 36.
Nice. Says UNC's gonna sweep Duke. No, he said we get Wes Miller just to fund the UNC basketball program. Just put all the funds into girl basketball.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, sir.
got Mike Moore, Nate Hobgood-Chittick.
That was Super Bowl 34.
Dre Bly.
Dre Bly with 34.
Yeah, Dre Bly was in there. William Henderson, Bernardo Harris, Bucky Brooks, all for the Green Bay Packers for 31. Yep. Oscar Sturgis for the Dallas Cowboys. 30. Antonio Ross, Brian Bollinger, Harris Barton for the 49ers.
29.
LT for the Giants.
25.
Got Goss and Barton twice.
24.
David Truitt, Tim Morrison, Danny Burmeister, Kelvin Bryant.
Yeah, Barton was in 24 and 23. Nice.
Yep.
And then Truitt, Morrison, Burmeister, and Bryant
for the Redskins.
22.
Then Lawrence Taylor, Brian Johnston for the Giants again, Jeff Hayes, 24. And then Amos Lawrence.
And fun fact, the first Super Bowl to feature a Tar Heel was Super Bowl 7 with Chris.
I was really playing in high school in Clinton. You from South Carolina, Cobb?
Let us find out. And fun fact, so
happy Duke lost their quarterback and wide receiver one.
He's going to Miami.
Yeah, he's going to Miami. So we're going to see him again. Duke going to be bad. We'll see. North Carolina. Okay.
But yeah.
Just thought I should ask. I was like, wait a minute. Because I just saw Clinton. I'm like, Clinton?
No Hillary. And no Bill.
And speaking of seeing some folk. Speaking of seeing some folk. The 2026 schedule has been released. And there's some names and some people we gonna have to see.
Listen, bro. I'm low-key mad we ain't got Wake Forest this year.
Yeah, because then we have to see Gio again.
I would have wanted that get back, bro. I would have wanted that
we
get
got
back
them next year. If he don't transfer again. Listen, we are so cooked in 26. Listen,
speaking of, before we get to this, because I feel like this is going to give you more energy and animosity for the schedule. Do you know Notre Dame's schedule has 8 teams that had 8 losses this past year?
Oh, who's surprised?
It's Notre Dame.
So we might be 7-5. I mean,
I'm saying that's good. That's the part we say.
Willie Parker played for Clinton, North Carolina. They lost to the Reedsville playoffs. Heartbreak. Unbelievable. It's totally believable that Notre Dame has several 8-loss teams on their schedule. That's not surprising to me at all.
It is to me. Well,
is it though? I'm about to say it shouldn't be. So starting off, we got TCU again. Got to run that back, and this is the one in Ireland, if I remember right. Then we got East Tennessee State, Clemson, bye week, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Duke, Syracuse, Miami, UConn, Louisville, Virginia, and North Carolina State. Always, because I don't know if you saw that bit. Slav, did you see the video with Cam Newton talking about that Notre Dame ain't done nothing in years? And I felt so validated. Notre Dame ain't been a good program for real in years. Sure, you made the playoff last year, but you made the playoff playing against one of the worst Georgia teams in the last 5 years, at least offensively. Heck, really just in general.
You said who?
Then, he's talking about Notre Dame catchfish their records. Of course. This schedule is tough. He said, yeah, it's exactly like, bro, Notre Dame ain't worth nothing. You get these top 10 schedules playing a bunch of major loss teams or midway teams. You don't play nobody worth talking about. And when you do, you end up either losing or it's a real tough game that you barely get by on. Or you're facing like if you face a top 10, 15 team, is normally 15. Is normally number 10. You're not facing a number 1. You're not facing a number 2. You're not facing number 5 on a regular basis.
Yep.
We could go in and pull the Notre Dame method. Shoot, I bet every institution could. Wish they could.
Yep. Notre Dame plays 8 teams that lost 8 or more games in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And those teams are Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue. Here's the sad part. We're included on that list, just so you know.
I mean, yeah, because they're on our schedule.
Yep. So we're included on that list. But yeah, Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, us, then Boston College, Syracuse, and Stanford. They're only games of teams of good teams. You have BYU who went 12-2. SMU, who went 9-4, Miami, who went 13-3, and Navy, who went 11-2. Those are the only teams they play with winning records.
I don't even see them on the schedule. For ESPN, I don't even see Navy on the schedule.
This is their 2025. That's wait. Plays 8 teams that lost 8 games.
They playing the worst ACC teams. BYU lost their head coach, by the way. No, they didn't. They kept his. They kept him. BYU kept their head coach because they thought he was going to leave, but he decided to stay. So no, BYU kept their head coach. They're fine.
Who's schedule are you looking at?
So looking at Notre Dame's 2026 schedule, they play Wisconsin, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Stanford, BYU, Miami, Boston College, SMU, and Syracuse.
And Rice.
I don't even see Rice on here.
They play Rice on the 12th.
Okay, so yeah, this might be missing a couple of games then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's missing 2 games off here. So yeah, Navy and Rice probably aren't on there.
Yep.
But yeah, BYU retained their head coach, so they're gonna be all right.
Oh, sweet
Rice,
Jesus!
Rice. Like, what are you doing?
He said Rice. Rice?
Clown show.
Bruh.
Sunbelt? Come on, man.
No, it said Rice? That's who we playing? That's who they playing?
Because the best teams that they're going to play next year is Miami, BYU, and SMU. Are the best 3 teams they're playing next year. They're going to be playing against nerdy military. And Syracuse and Syracuse. I give them Syracuse.
Syracuse was bad this year.
Syracuse was bad this year because their starting quarterbacks and backup quarterback got hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, they were playing 2 freshmen the whole back half of the season. Because the quarterbacks that when we played them, both freshmen.
All right, Syracuse. I wasn't familiar with your game. I apologize for my outburst.
Because their starting quarterback got hurt against Clemson, and he got knocked out for the season with a torn ACL. Then the backup quarterback got hurt because he was just bad.
I got to come back to this. No. I got to come back to this. I got to come back to this statement. First of all, sir, we all a nerd about something. And what's wrong with the military folk? Joel, I had to come back to this comment. He said they might be playing nerds and military folk. Like, wait a minute, sir. Like, what's the issue?
Check this out. And Wisconsin had a harder schedule than Notre Dame did last season.
Of course they did. It's Wisconsin. They play in the Big Ten.
Check this out. So you want to know who they played?
I know that out of conference schedule was actually tough.
So Wisconsin overall, they played 19 Alabama, 20 Michigan, number 1 Ohio State, number 6 Oregon, number 23 Washington, number 2 Indiana, and number 21 Illinois. They played 7 ranked teams.
That's a Big Ten, and only one of those is out of conference.
They went 4-8 because they only beat Miami, Ohio, Middle Tennessee. They beat Washington, and they beat Illinois.
Shout out to that win over Washington.
Shout out to the win over Illinois too.
Nah.
Now they barely beat Washington. They beat Washington 13-10, but they beat Illinois 27-10.
That was a snow game, I bet.
Probably. Then proceeded to lose to Minnesota at the end of the season.
If Notre Dame lose one game, they shouldn't be in the playoff. Oh, speaking of that, boy.
Yeah, it's Michigan State did.
So I don't know why I forgot to include this, but one of the new rules for the CFP, bro. Hold up, because I remember.
Because I did say they were going to keep it to a 12 team playoff.
Yeah. So one of the new rules that Notre Dame gets, y'all, Notre Dame is guaranteed a spot in the CFP if they finish ranked in the top 12 of final selection.
Y'all cried and whined y'all way to an automatic spot.
Yes.
Cried and whined their way to an immediate spot. And tell you, we talked about that right before the CFP started. We talked about it when they opted out of their playoff game that they were going to have there was like some contingency thing in their contract that allowed them for the next I think it's like the next 2 or 3 years. They now have an automatic berth in the CFP.
That's stupid because one, let's just throw out the hypothetical, right?
I think it's for the next 3 seasons, if I remember correct.
Check this out. Throw out this hypothetical. You know the other team that's in that independent bracket with them?
UConn.
Boom. If UConn, and I don't anticipate them, but let's throw out the hypothetical. If UConn football just goes on a tear for some reason next year and finishes in the top 12, do you mean to tell me let's say both Notre Dame
spot over them?
Yeah, you mean to tell me Notre Dame gets that spot over UConn? Even if UConn finishes better but doesn't win their conference? Like, you can't do that. You can't. We're not guaranteed. I'm cool.
Like the fact that you guarantee them a spot is wild.
I'm cool with guaranteeing a group of 5 team, 2 group of 5s getting in. And even though everybody was like, oh, the group of 5 was bad, Tulane and who's the other group of 5? Who's the other team this year? James Madison. They're like, even though Tulane and James Madison didn't have no business being here. Listen, I'm cool with a group of 5 coming in because that's how you get the Fiesta Bowl moments and things like that. Like the really cool, hey, yo, they can compete type of moments. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But guaranteeing that this one specific team gets a spot if the committee just likes them enough to keep them ranked in the top 12, even if they played bad. So that means Notre Dame, if they somehow have a 9-4 season, if the committee feels, oh, yeah, they're 9-4, but they lost only because of extenuating circumstances, they didn't really lose. We're going to keep them in the top 12. You're going to have a 9-4 Notre Dame in over like a 12-win team. I'm cool if you guarantee like an SEC, ACC, Big 12, and Big 10 champ get in. I'm cool with that because that could be any team. I'm cool with 2 group of 5s getting in because that can be any team. Telling me that Notre Dame themselves, only this team gets in if they're finished in the top 12 is stupid and biased. Like, I don't like that, bro. I don't like that.
It's like, new agreement with the CFP officially acknowledged early this morning. Finishing the top 12 next year, they will automatically be guaranteed a spot in the CFP. That means the arrangement existed this year. That means had the arrangement existed this year, Notre Dame would have jumped Miami despite the committee saying we think Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame on the selection Sunday. It's one of the dumbest things I've seen with CFP structure, and it's totally ridiculous. Also, the committee can't just totally avoid this. If Notre Dame is a borderline playoff team again, instead of putting them at 11 and having them use their new agreement to immediately just jump to the 10 seed, rendering the committee's own ranking of the number 10 team above Notre Dame meaningless, if the committee's going to leave them out, why wouldn't they just put Notre Dame at 13? Notre Dame better hope they don't have to pull this card if they're ranked 12th on Selection Sunday next year, or they'll be the most mock team in NFL and CFB. They should be now. You should be the most mock team in college football. Bump the playoff.
Because I'm sorry. Let's be real and keep it a buck.
NCAA is a joke. It 100% is at this point.
Let's be real and keep it a buck. Miami put up a way better fight against Indiana than Notre Dame did against Ohio State last year.
Absolutely.
Miami proved why they were the team that was picked by the ACC. And here's the bad part. Miami as a 10 seed had to run the gauntlet to get to the national title. And they did. They just lost to the best team.
Even Stephen A said this is sick. Stephen A said this is sickening. Bump Notre Dame, get your ass in the conference and compete like everybody else. I'm gonna keep saying it till I'm blue and black in the face. Get into a conference. Stop playing this game that you playing with everybody else, and stop playing in our face, bro. Stop feeling like you special. You not special. You haven't been special since 1976. I don't know why you think that you continue to think that, oh, we're Notre Dame, we get special treatment. Get out of here. Sick of you.
Just go ahead.
You ain't been important you ain't been important to college football since 1998.
Bro, just go
Last time anybody cared about Notre Dame football for real was Manti Te'o years, and that was because he had a fake girlfriend that everybody wanted to see him win for. Outside of that, nobody has cared what Notre Dame does because Notre Dame ain't done nothing worth talking about. Sure, you got into the CFP, but for how? But for what? With what competition? Sure, you made it to the college football. You made it to the championship last year and got dog walked. You didn't play anybody for real last year. You ain't playing for anybody for real the year before. You don't play anybody for real, period. That's why you don't end up in the championship every year, because when you get to the playoffs, you get embarrassed every time you get there. Stop acting like you this great team when you're not. You play scrubs every year because you handpick these scrubs so you can get an easy path to the playoff, just to get knocked out first and second round because you deserve to get knocked out every time. Then you come in here with this soft ass shit. Excuse my language, but you come here with this soft ass shit talking about, oh, we need an immediate spot. For what? Prove you need to be there. Your own coach even said it yourself. We need to make sure there is without a doubt next year that you make the playoff. But guess what? You now play 8 out of 12 teams with more than 8 losses or more. Boston College lost 10 games last year. The only team that you played with a legitimate strong schedule from last season is Wisconsin. They played 7 ranked teams last year, 2 of which they beat. And you gonna sit here and act like y'all this great team? You not. You got good players. Don't get me wrong. Sure, you have a great history of sending players to the NFL who tend to have general success. But what do you do? What have you done? What are you continuing to do besides annoy us?
I'm gonna say this. One,
and no offense to the Notre Dame fans out there, I appreciate you having your support for your team, but your team is dog water.
I'm gonna say this, bro, because you know me, and I, on this channel, was always the devil's advocate for Notre Dame. You and I would agree with that, right? I was always the one kind of giving devil's advocate for Notre Dame. This officially puts me on your bandwagon. This officially puts me in your bandwagon because I'm not agreeing to this, bro. If you can't guarantee this stipulation for other independents or Ivy Leagues or anybody else, you don't need to do it. And the simple fact of the matter that the ACC is sitting right there. You're playing about 5, 6, 7 teams from the ACC. You're involved in the ACC's new revamped and rescheduling. And not only that, 23 of the other 24 sports at your school are in the ACC. So, Notre Dame, whatever you want to be, how about you get off your butt, go ahead, and as my colleague says, join a conference. You can join the ACC. You know what? You want to prove something? Go join the Big Ten, since apparently you're too good to be in the ACC. Join the SEC, why don't you? How about you do that? Join the Big 12. Join a conference in the Power 4. Run the gauntlet. Win a conference championship. Then get your spot in the CFP the way everybody else does. Because guess what? Had they done what they're going to do this year, to where every conference champion automatically gets in regardless of their rank, I would have at least respected the fact that Duke got in the CFP, because you know what Duke did? Duke went and won the ACC championship, and they had to beat a better team to do it. Duke won the ACC title game, and I would have been more cool with them going to the CFP over you if we're going by these rules.
And check this out. Sports Illustrated trying to make the argument that, oh, the rule doesn't have any power at all. because a committee can just rank Notre Dame outside of the top 12. One, we all know good and well that they're not going to rank Notre Dame outside of the top 12 because it's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame brings in too much money. They got too many TV deals. It's the same thing that we said with Bama for years, and why Bama used to always get put in the CFP when they first started it. It's like, if Bama's close, Bama's going to get in unless they just look bad. If Ohio State is close, Ohio State's going to get in. You want to know why? Say it with me now. Brand recognition. The brand sells. If Southern Cal, who I can't stand in preseason every year, because for some reason, ever since the 2000s, for some odd reason, the Trojans always get ranked in the top 25, and they're out of the top 25 by week 4. I don't understand it. It pisses me off every year, and I keep sitting here looking, why do y'all keep ranking the Trojans in the top 25? The way you feel, Joel, the way you feel about Notre Dame and how they get in the CFP is the way I feel about the USC Trojans getting ranked at the beginning of a season, being a top 25 team. I'm like, they've done nothing since Reggie Bush left. Not a dang thing. But why do we keep ranking them in the top 25 like they're a good team?
I mean, it's just like, I look at it like this now. The CFP is basically a popularity contest like the Pro Bowl is. Because like me and you talked about, Shedeur Sanders shouldn't be an NFL Pro Bowler.
I love Shedeur, but that's a whole popularity contest the way he got in.
Because somebody pointed out, because they put up a stat, they put up a Trevor Lawrence and a Shedeur Sanders stat.
10 touchdowns, 2,300 yards. To Trevor Lawrence is like 38, 15, and 4,000. Guess who's a Pro Bowler?
Guess who's a Pro Bowler? So you telling me Trevor Lawrence didn't make the Pro Bowl over Shedeur Sanders? But once again, we've talked about this for years now. We remember when the Pro Bowl was a thing, where there was a reason you made the Pro Bowl. It wasn't because it was a popularity contest. You were popular because you were good.
You were
popular because you deserved
the
best
to be players at your position, and that's why I used to love the fact that they played the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl, because the best players got to go to the Pro Bowl. You wasn't getting in just because. The only reason you got in as a reserve is because somebody was injured and couldn't go. Not because, they're playing in the Super Bowl, so they're unavailable.
No, they just couldn't. They got hurt in the Super Bowl, so now they can't play. Would UNC ever be a powerhouse in football?
They could.
I mean, they have the potential. I don't know if they'll be a powerhouse. I think they'll be a competitor.
Anybody has.
I think they can be very competitive.
Anybody has the potential to be a powerhouse, because all it takes is that one. Now, okay, I'll say this. Cobb, define powerhouse. Are you talking like 40 years down? Like they are dominant for like a brand recognition standpoint, like a Bama, like define that, or are you just saying they have one like 10-year span where they're great? Because
are they a dominant force? Are they a dominant force in their conference for the next 10, 15 years kind of situation, or are we just dominant for the next like 5?
Yes.
We just good for the couple of years that, like, let's say Bill turns it around, and we're just good for the couple of years Bill is here, and then whenever he retires, it goes back to mediocrity.
If it's 15 to 20 plus, it's going to take some time. It's possible, but it's going to take some time.
It's always possible.
If you're going to say a 5-year stint, I think that's actually more like, I would consider a powerhouse if you've been dominant for like a 5-year stint. Dynasty, 20 years, like 20, 25 years, you're going to have the right coach to do it. Is Bill that guy? No. And the reason being is I'm throwing his age into that.
I'm about to say, I think he's just getting too up in the age for that to happen.
I'm throwing his age into that.
I think the reason why I don't think that North Carolina is going to be a football powerhouse isn't because we don't have the potential. We definitely have the potential. We can get the coaching. We can do all of that. I just don't think there's going to be enough continued investment in the football side of things that's going to keep that up. That's where my thing is. I think after a while, depending on, this could even be a thing. Because I think he's setting up for his son. I don't think that's a good choice. I don't think that's a good idea.
I wouldn't want that. I'll
I
say
don't think
this:
that's a good idea at all.
in order for UNC to become a football powerhouse, another sport has to suffer. And if there was a sport that would have to suffer, that would have the money to do it, it'd probably be baseball. You're not going to sacrifice UNC basketball. Baseball is the next best thing for UNC outside of lacrosse and things of that nature. And so women's lacrosse has been dominant. You're not taking that away.
Because like I said, I don't think there's going to, like I said, I don't think there's just going to be enough continued investment. Lots of teams we play this year worse than when we played them last year. Clemson, Duke, TCU, State won't be as good. Lost a lot more than they got. UConn worse 2 cents more left, and the team gone. I mean, true. So we have a better opportunity to have a winning season this year than we did last year for sure.
Yeah, but I'll say UNC, in order to be that dominant, they have to essentially sacrifice another sport. Like one of the other sports has to go into a major lull, and that money and that funding has to go because, for example, right, Alabama,
b-ball is hurting. Exactly, basketball is hurting now, and that's a coaching thing.
Honestly, basketball is hurting because of the standard we've set for basketball. Like, let's keep it honest. We have a high standard. We are a blue blood when it comes to basketball. Like 30-4, 26-5 records, that's our standard for college basketball. So when we're 17-10, when we're in that realm, we're like, yo, what is this? This ain't it. This ain't it. Whereas a lot of schools, a la, let's say Alabama flipping, you gotta have those schools, Auburn or whatever the case may be. Yeah, they'll have a good season here and there, but their standard isn't 30 wins in a year.
You're not expecting
26 wins in basketball.
That's expecting high standard from their basketball programs because they're football schools. But like now, us, Kentucky, UConn, Gonzaga, stuff like that, there's high expectation.
Even Villanova right now.
Yeah, Chancellor now she's going to be on the college football board. That gives me a feeling that dudes might finally be serious with the 3 to 4 year run with Bill. I don't know why you weren't serious to begin with.
I miss
Dean Smith. True.
Dean was a GOAT.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things because it's like even Villanova football, don't nobody care about. Villanova basketball,
everybody on it.
Them boys is nice. In Alabama right now, Alabama football has taken a step back over the last 5 years or so since Saban left, right? But Alabama football has taken a step back. But Alabama basketball over the last 5 years has gotten better.
It's steadily improved. Heck, even Florida basketball, because nobody expected Florida basketball to win a national championship last year. I sure as hell didn't. Yeah, Florida won last year.
Dang, did they win last year? Bro, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, Florida won. They fell behind the times. Now they're getting lockered on both sides. Think they realize the NIL game is different.
Right. Oh yeah, they played Houston. I thought Houston was going to win that game because Houston has a great basketball program.
Yeah,
Houston's had a great basketball program. That's why I thought Houston was going to win because Florida, they solid, but we ain't looked at Florida like that since the Joakim Noah days.
So so even with us, like it's just like you asked, Kyle, but even with us, we have the potential to usurp expectations, but it also comes down to what kind of investment the team is getting, what the coaching looking like, all of that. Because just like you pointed out with Indiana football has been irrelevant for decades.
But Indiana basketball
has been a thing. And then all it took was the right coach bringing the right staff and the right kind of attitude, and it just flipped everything around. And like Tiger pointed out, I think what happened with last season, especially with the football team, Bill and Lombardi didn't come in with the right attitude. They didn't come in with the right thought process of they thought, okay, this is like the NFL. We're just gonna run it like the NFL and realize that's not how this works. This is still college football. Despite the fact that, yeah, you get the NILs, you have the contract deals and all that, and you talking money, you still gotta run this like it's college. You can't just go in just strong arming these kids out of stuff. They don't care. There's no sense of I'm doing this to feed my family. I'm doing this to do that. No, I'm getting this just to get the money. And if you ain't talking to be nice, I'm gonna go somebody that's gonna give me the money. Especially when you got your parents in your ear talking. Yeah, it's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. Used to came out of nowhere, man. Since the 85th Phi Slamma Jamma days with Hakeem, they woke up after being dead for 30 plus years and dummying UNC football. Exactly, facts. Yeah, I feel like it needs to be a cap on the transport. Absolutely, 100%, 100%, 100%. There 100% needs to be a cap. There needs to be a cap on transfer portal and NIL because, what was his name? I can't remember what the coach's name was. But yeah, there needs to be a limit on how many times these kids can transfer. There needs to be a limit on how much they can get paid at a time because with them not being capped on how often they can transfer, it's been causing all of these issues that we got now for sure. Especially with the recent one with Darian Mensah, which we talk about with Mensah and all that. So apparently, luckily enough, they came to a settlement or whatever. So
you talking about Duke and Mensah?
Yeah, because Cobb had asked, "Do we feel like the transfer portal and the NIL needs to have a cap?" And yeah, I full on believe there needs to be a cap because you can't. To me, you can't transfer more than I'll give you more than twice to me without some kind of penalty.
Monetarily,
to me, you transfer once penalty free. Second time, it has to be a medical reason or like the coach leaves. After that, there's penalties for this.
Here's my thing.
Ain't just about to be up and just leaving with no problem.
I agree with the transfer cap. Monetarily wise, no, because of the simple fact of the matter that college football has made so much money.
That there has to be a big change eventually. Just question how far this goes before it's regulated.
Here's my thing. College football has made so much money off of these kids and will continue to do so. And
crazy and sprinkling down to high school, right? Because I just saw a thing with a kid transferring high schools down here.
You can't not let the kids make money. However, there needs to be a cap in terms of you shouldn't be allowed to get an NIL deal until college. Because if you're a high school student getting an NIL deal, you don't know how to act. You're stupid, young, dumb, and broke. You do not need an NIL deal in high school at all.
Because there was a kid down here. I think it was a kid from Somerville. Transferred from Somerville to from I think like Dorchester to Somerville or Somerville to Dorchester, something like that.
No,
and they posted it was posted up like it was a whole college transfer announcement.
Yeah, no high school student. And you can call me stingy. You can call me old head with that one. No high school student needs NILs.
Absolutely not.
Especially not the amount of money. You don't need NILs. You don't know how to manage it. You don't know what you're going to do with it. You're going to blow it on dumb stuff. No, I'm very hesitant on college students. Like I want college students to get their money, but like we all said, and I said it last week, and I feel my co-host will agree. Before you get an NIL deal, even if you are a 5-star coming in, so on and so forth, your freshman year, whenever, you have to have a financial literacy class to understand it.
They'll start making trades in college. That's basically what they're doing in these transfer portals.
You need to have a financial literacy class to understand the obligations and whatnot and the legal ramifications for breaking said contract.
Because the other thing is, because with them making trade, because that's what they technically were doing before they made it a limit to where you only have the one portal opening every year. Because when they were just able to just transfer whenever, you had guys transferring mid-season.
That was dumb. The multi transfer portal window.
Yeah, that was a dumb window. Like they just you had guys transferring mid-season going places.
I didn't agree with that at all.
I do think this. I do think that NIL wise, you can't receive an NIL offer until you have full on signed to a school. Until you were on the campus attending classes, you can't receive NIL deals.
Yeah.
In school, and then transfer portal window, schools can't offer you NILs until you were on campus and actively in class. Until you were full on there, they can't offer you anything. I said, man, at the very least, make contracts legit. Like I can deal with the rest of the BS for now if contracts were like monopoly money.
Here's the thing: the contracts seem to be legit, but they seem to be. Right now. There are too many loopholes. Not even loopholes. It's just things that kids are not.
They're not reading
aware of. They're not reading the contract to the full extent, and they're thinking that they could just get around.
So,
for example,
about that, with this particular situation with Darian Mensah, that's exactly what Duke was doing. That's why they sued him, because you signed the contract saying that you were coming to Duke. And then what happens is you decided literal last minute of the window, I'm going to transfer to Miami, because Miami came in, offered to buy out your contract.
Because you told them what you were getting.
Because you told them you wanted it, because you told them how much money your contract was. Miami said, we'll pay that. And then we'll pay you an NIL on top of it. And you weren't supposed to do that. Per your contract, you were not supposed to tell them how much my NIL deal was. You did it anyway.
It's like you could have told them you had an NIL.
But you had to inform Duke.
But you can't disclose that. You couldn't disclose the amount. Hence why Duke sued you. And like 9 times out of 10, am I in favor of the institution that makes money off the student suing the student? No. However, in this instant, I was siding with Duke because it's like, bro, you violated a simple aspect of your contract.
To close the loopholes or whatever it is, Mensah shouldn't be able to do that, in my opinion. What's going to happen with our dogs like Dobson and Sadler now if they want to get out mid-contract? So here's the thing. You got to
fulfill that obligation to the contract. Like, that's what we were talking about last episodes, where you have to fulfill whatever you signed that NIL for. For example, if it says you were going to attend the University of North Carolina for 2 years to complete this NIL, you have to stay there for 2 years. And as you said, if there is a penalty or you want out, you forfeit everything and you got a penalty.
Because this whole situation started between Georgia and a former linebacker from Georgia, because he transferred to Missouri a year before his contract was up. And then Georgia was suing him over the remaining amount of money that they were going to pay him in the NIL deal. Because they signed on and told him they were going to pay him for 3 years with this amount of money. So when he left the year earlier, they sued him saying, no, you owe us this amount of money. So we expect you to pay back the money that you were supposed to receive. So we're not going to sit here and just pay you money that you're not going to be here for. Integrity's out the window. Ain't even no hurting integrity. Integrity's out the window. Nobody has it at this point.
Here's my thing.
Because even now, Dabo Swinney's claiming that Ole Miss was tampering with one of their players prior to this thing. You have tampering all over the place. There is no integrity between institutions.
I'm gonna say this.
No integrity between the coaches or the players.
So, personally, I'm gonna say it does, but it doesn't. It only hurts integrity if the NCAA wasn't doing this and exploiting the kids first.
I don't agree.
Like, to me, and the reason why I say that is this. The NCAA...
They get that lawyer like Saul Goodman on speed dial if I'm Lombardi. When they signed that contract, Lombardi made them make sure their ass is locked up and make sure they don't even think about it.
So to me, and hopefully I can articulate this well, the NCAA... over years, over century, never had integrity to ensure that these players were getting what they were deserved or owed or compensated for the money, for the amount of money they brought in, and for the amount of things that players could not do. Like, I couldn't even receive a birthday card. I couldn't even receive money when I was playing for Charleston Southern. I couldn't even receive money on my birthday from my aunt. Or I couldn't tell nobody I got money from because the NCAA would try to find a reason for me to be ineligible because
it seemed like they're paying you to play to do this and do that.
Yeah. No, to me, that's the part of the integrity of it. And it's like the transfer portal right now is the other spectrum, is the players trying to get their get back. So now we're in a huge like window. Yeah,
I hear you, bro. It's going too far the other way. Let's find middle ground.
Oh yeah, as I just said, this is the players get back, and now we're trying to get there.
I don't disagree that how the NCAA was set up before was very messed up against the players. Because, like, yeah, you were making millions of dollars with video games, articles, jersey sales, so on and so forth, and the kids weren't getting a piece of it.
Remember when we had to put the entire rosters, the name of players.
Oh yeah, you had to do it yourself manually.
We had to type that in NCAA 05, 04, 06.
You knew who it was, but you couldn't say who it was. So no, I get that. I think the reason why I don't particularly agree that this is where it started, or we lost integrity because of that. One, yeah, it was exploitive. It is what it is. I think the reason why I say the integrity is gone now is because not only has the ball swung so far the other way. Yeah, he played for Charleston Southern.
Yeah.
As I feel travel ball team sport started. AAU is a whole nother problem. But not only do I agree that the ball has swung too far the other way with players wanting they get back, but the reason why I say the integrity is just kicked out the window is because even though the players are getting their get back, you still don't need to be hopping and bopping from place to place like you're doing. Because me, the integrity for me is you going and hopping from place to place every year, really getting not a whole lot out of it besides I'm just getting paid because this place wants to call me up. But the fact that you now have institutions tampering with players, tampering with other institutions, and a bidding war over players, and now you have players literally hopping out of contracts last minute, or just flat out ignoring contracts that they signed because they no longer have the integrity of honoring contracts to go to these other institutions. That's what I mean integrity wise. No, outside of that, the NCAA deserves everything they get.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Kids switch teams like underwear.
And here's the thing:
Vax dogs can still get their bag without all this other BS. How pay get mixed up with no rules on transfer unrelated to me and stupid to open that up.
I get exactly what y'all saying, and it's funny because I was talking about this at work the other week in training. It's a simple fact that can be related to how society is now. You know how when we were growing up, because you and I are both raised in the 90s and whatnot, so we were kind of the transition between generations.
Right.
We saw our parents like work hard, could work at one place for a long time, grind out, do the whole, hey, work 20, 40 years or whatever, retire one spot, do their thing. And now you have the newer generation where they're quick. The moment they don't like one little thing, they quick to put in they 2 weeks, even though they know the 2 weeks ain't gonna be honored. And that's the generation we're at now because they saw how the previous gen got treated at this job. They saw how, they dog walked you, they did this, that, and the third. Why'd you stay when you had better options? So on and so forth. And they're quick at the most minor inconvenience to leave. So we're in that era of trying to find the middle ground, as Tar Heel's saying. We're trying to find that middle ground of bring back the integrity of staying at a spot, but also having the wherewithal and the understanding of, you know what, this is not the best spot for me. I've done my time here. Thank you, but I need to go somewhere that's better for me.
Which we all agree on. We all agree on this because like I said, I think I was talking about it earlier when it was asking about the NIL caps and stuff. To me, you should be, and just like Tar Heel said, you should be able to transfer really to me, you get one free transfer with no penalty. If you transfer a second time, you have to sit. You have to sit out a year, point blank period. You're redshirted a year, regardless if you want to be or not. The only exception you get, only two exceptions are medically related, or, some wild event happens like COVID again or something like that, or your coach leaves.
I can see that. Especially if
those are the only two exceptions. Those are only two exceptions where if you transfer a second time, you can stay in with no penalty. Outside of that, You get penalized after the first time.
The coach leaving reason, either A, it has to be cited somewhere that you like flat out said, I'm going to this school because of this coach, or B, the coach is leaving in an unprecedented manner. Like he didn't tell you, oh yeah, I'm leaving. Like he just flat out, just out the blue, I'm gone. Kind of like how Lane Kiffin went to LSU out of nowhere.
Well,
and just
I'm
like,
even,
yep, I'm up and
I'm
out.
even thinking of in the sense of if your coach leaves and you are transferring to follow your coach.
Okay. So you're trying to follow that. Okay. So you're trying to follow and play for that coach. Okay. Kind of like how
Transferred
Shador and
4 or 5. Shoot, Carson Beck was in his 7th year. Carson Beck wasn't even he wasn't even taking classes. Carson Beck graduated 2 seasons ago.
So you say he was a graduate assistant at this point, I guess. But so you kind of saying like
classes.
How Shador and Travis follow Deion to Colorado. You talking about like that?
Yeah. So like, let's say if Deion left Colorado and like, when he left from Jackson State to go to Colorado, and let's say Shador already transferred in from, let's say he transferred from like Mississippi State to Jackson State to go play with his dad the first time.
Yeah.
So when his dad takes the Colorado job, he's like, okay, I'm gonna transfer again to go play with my dad in Colorado. You get an exemption from having to sit out because you followed your coach from that school to the new school.
Yeah.
But that's almost the only one of 2 exemptions you get is following your coach to the new school the coach is going to, or you have a medical reason why you had to leave.
Whew.
So I can see that. So a lot of these dudes taking online. No, Carson Beck flat out was not taking classes. He was not actively enrolled in any classes. They had an article that came up after the championship game about it. He graduated last season.
All right, I got a question for you then. Would you rather, boy,
when they amount on how much each team spends in NIL, let's see who really can get who when they can't spend time.
Here's the thing: donors are going to come in, and to be honest, California teams might make a comeback when it gets to that point.
Alan Lubin.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Van
Allen.
I had it too. Oh, there it is. Would you rather have a player on your team who doesn't take any classes, or would you rather have a player who's taking fake classes? And the reason why I say that is because remember, even at like Kentucky, they even said this happened at UNC too. Like basketball players were just taking like these made up classes that then they were just getting automatic A's in, and they just gone, and like that way they'd be good.
And it's the real world for that dude now. He gonna be that old head talking about college days forever.
Oof.
I'll be right back. I gotta do some fatherly stuff.
Uh-oh. That man say, what was I saying? I don't know. I think I would rather have the guy who doesn't take any classes, like a graduate assistant, I guess, over the guy who's taking fake classes. I feel like fake classes are even worse, but y'all let me know, man. Because when it's as long as you can play football, basketball, or any sport you can play without going to class. I mean, what's the whole point of being academically ineligible then if you're not going to class? Like that was a whole thing growing up. Remember, academic ineligibility was a thing. It was even on the video games. Have y'all seen the movie Van Wilder? Yo, that's crazy. Van Wilder is that's Van Wilder is wow. I didn't even think that. Now I gotta go. Oh wow, I can see it. I can see it. If he's not, if he's taking no classes, maybe he finished early. No, I think he genuinely graduated on time and just was a graduate. So hold on. So Carson Beck has indicated that he is currently not taking any classes during spring 2026 semester, having already graduated with his undergraduate degree in 2024. He clarified that as a graduate transfer, he has been taking courses towards additional degrees at Miami, but will not be enrolled again after the current season. So Beck stated he graduated 2 years ago from Georgia in 2024, making him a graduate student while at Miami. While he was enrolled in classes for the fall, he confirmed he is not taking classes in spring of 2026. So I guess so he was just taking random classes while on campus for fall of 2025, but he's not in any classes in 26. That he mentioned living at the living situation. He mentioned living at the football team's facility. What? Bruh. Hold up. Although he is not taking classes this spring, his status as a graduate transfer via USA Today allowed him to remain eligible to play for the 2026 season. Oh, please God, no. Please God, no.
So you saw it, huh?
No, I got one. I saw it, but here's the even crazier part. So he says he's not taking any classes during spring of 2026.
So
He graduated
he said he's take graduate classes, and a lot of that work is independent study. A lot of good work, not undergraduate classes.
So basically,
someone like Cam Johnson.
He's like, he graduated. He said he graduated from Georgia in 2024. He was enrolled in classes in the fall, but confirmed he's not taking classes in spring of 2026. He was taking just additional classes toward degrees, but he's like, oh, I won't be enrolled after this current season. And apparently, even though he's not taking classes, his status as a graduate transfer allowed him to remain eligible to play in the 2026 season. And I'm like, oh God,
no. Take classes in school that only met once a week, etc. Seminar classes. He probably milked the system. It's easy to be. I mean, true. I mean, it's easy to take advantage of that, but I just look at it like, okay. I mean, and tell you, there was another. Remember the other thing we was talking about a while back, that eligibility should only run for how long your like bachelor's or like I think master's degree went for.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, we were talking about that. It was like, depending on your bachelor's or your master's or whatever the case, whatever your degree is, if your degree is medical school, okay, you got 8 years, because we all know that's going to take a minute. If you're in law school, you got 8 years. So everybody at Harvard, and whatnot, y'all got some time.
And my thing is, if you playing football, if you playing a sport and getting either one of those 2 degrees, good for you.
Right.
I would happily give you that eligibility.
Right. So, speaking of another, like, this is still college football related, but I think you're going to get a laugh out of this. And I want to show it to everybody. Oh, bro. Bro, am I lagging?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, no. Why am I lagging?
My Nigerian brothers, their dad's going to beat their ass if they pull that Carson Beck stuff. Oh, if you're going to be in college and you're not taking classes to be something with some money. So Brent James Brooks, I don't know if y'all remember him in the NFL. This man could barely read and pass the SAT. It was great in college classes. Now how is that possible? I do remember James Brooks.
Hey, sometimes you just by faith and not by sight, man. So as y'all can see down there, it says the what field. And this is a little bit something funny. I want y'all to see this because this had me dying laughing. And this is Najee Harris on the Got podcast or Get Got podcast with Marshawn Lynch. I want y'all to see this. You ready?
I remember this.
I don't. This is the first time I saw this today.
Really?
I want to start that.
Oh no, I sent it to you earlier, but like today was the first day I ever saw this.
Okay, I'm the same here, but
I want to start there at Alabama first.
It was hella racist. They was calling you.
It wasn't racist in that. And I mean, I ain't gonna say a place not racist because it's hard to view it when you're an athlete. And I mean, like the practice was hard. There was like 2 fields. You would have like the ones is at whatever, and it would be like pretty much practice squad. You'll say, but they would call that the cotton field.
Actually, if it was racist, for real, they call that.
So then you might think about it. He'll call it the cotton field because he'll say like, I mean, you really got to work your ass from there to get to here. You know what I mean? So he'll call it the cotton
racist.
field. It might be.
Bruh.
Stupid. What's that haircut for? How about?
Bro. When I saw that, I said the what? And Najee Harris had to. It's the fact that Najee Harris is telling this story. Marshawn asked him, "Hey, yo, is it racist?" Nah. Proceeds to tell the story. It says, "Yeah, we worked at a place. You know, we had 2 fields. That one's called the cotton field. You had to work hard to get out the cotton field." I'm like, sir.
Listen. As soon as I heard that, I could hear Dr. Umar Johnson from way back in the back. Beg your pardon. I beg your pardon,
bro. I'm like, Najee. No, and it reminds me of that old YouTube video about the one black dude talking about the most racist, the most racist field trip he ever went on.
I should see the essay that UNC player wrote that got leaked. A-, when we can't chirp anybody after what we were doing.
Yeah, that's what, bro. All I'm saying.
It's the first time I'm hearing about that.
All I'm saying, bro. Saban had a field called the cotton field that you had to work to get out of. I hope Saban didn't name it that. I hope that was like something the players came up with and not the actual coaching and the organization. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I hope to God it was one of those things where like it was like a legend. Like, you know, the players came up with that name. That's what the players call it. The coaches never call it that, but the players call it that. Because, Lord, if Saban legit called it the cotton field, bruh.
Boy. 146 word final. Oh, so 1 paragraph paper. I found the essay. Bro, y'all missed the 18-year academic scandal at USC. This jank said on the evening December, Rosa Parks decided she was going to sit in the white people section on the bus in Montgomery, Alabama. During this time, blacks had to give up their seat to whites. When more whites got on the bus, Parks refused to give up her seat. Her and her bus driver began to talk conversation. When that went like this, "Let me have those front seats," said the driver. She didn't get up and told the driver she was tired of giving up her seat to white people. "I'm going to have you arrested." "You may," said the driver, "you may do that." Rosa Parks responded. 2 white policemen came in. Rosa Parks asked them, why y'all all push us around?" Police officer replied and said, "I don't know, but the law is a law and you're under arrest." And UNC athlete got an A- in a fake paper class with this ridiculous one paragraph final. Got an A- in a fake class.
Bro, you would have. Old girl from Oklahoma could put up a better paper than that.
It's a new report released Wednesday that tells how the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill offered paper classes, courses that never met or required only one final paper to help boost athletes' grades and keep them eligible.
Hey. James said, "I wonder, does UNC have a Jordan Hudson field or a Lombardi field?" Not gonna lie, sir. I had to refrain from. I had not even that. I had to refrain from making the comment I was gonna make off the top of my head.
Good for you.
because I value this channel, and I value this channel. I value the work we put in.
Now that I look at it, so Heel, I do remember this. I do remember this nonsense. Because they were calling them scam classes because they were listed under independent studies in the course books, but had no attendance. The students got credit for writing papers that always got either A's or B's. Willingham, so Deontay Willingham or Mary Willingham, who called the papers classes scam classes, showed ESPN an example of one of these papers is a 1-paragraph word, 146 word final paper on Rosa Parks. And they said the student received an A- overall in the course.
Tragic.
And they said while previous investigation cleared the UNC athletics department from wrongdoing in the scandal, Wednesday's report found a new culprit, the academic support program for the student athletes. The report describes a fairly broad group of academic and athletic officials who knew about athletes getting better grades in classes that only required papers, yet taking little or no action. But I do remember that. That was a wild time.
That was.
It was an 18-year academic scandal which involved paper classes, no-show courses with high grades in the African and Afro-American Studies department. The off the wall, who's worse, HD or Matt Daugherty or Matt Daughtry?
Daughtry. And the only reason I'm saying that is because HD at least got a championship appearance under his belt.
Well, you know how I know it's Matt Daughtry?
Oh.
Because I don't know who Matt Daughtry is. Because I'm not going to see it. I went to Georgia Tech in 2009. Let's just say I paid a few professors compensation to let me have good grades. 1,500 UNC athletes milked this pipeline between 93 and 2011. I ain't going to lie to you, though. If it was offered to me, I probably would have milked it, too.
I ain't paying no professors. I got paid by...
Oh, no. If I could take a paper class and write a final paper to get an A or B regardless... I'm gonna tell you this. So college, I got paid by another student. He was on the, and the thing about it was he ain't paid me cash. Man just asked. He said, "Hey, yo, can you send me photos of your notes when you finish, and I'll just study your notes." I said, "Okay, what's in it for me?" He said for every test. He said for every test, if I get a C or higher. If I get a C or higher, bro, I'll buy you whatever bottle you want after every test. I just went, studied. As soon as I finished, I would send him screenshots of the notes I took. Say, here, do with this what you want. Next thing he got a B. Right after class, bro took me to the liquor store. Man, that ain't nothing.
What? It's payment? As he was saying. It's payment.
We had people doing that in middle school and high school. That ain't new. That's
payment. It is, but
that ain't new. That's like that I can see happening. Students paying other students to do their work. I see that. That's so common. They put that in TV shows.
I mean, it worked, man.
I'm paying for notes for fair game.
No,
exactly.
I did.
Fair game.
Now, I will say this: in high school, I did take a deal with my teacher, but it was a deal he offered everybody in class because it was our computer class, and we were all designing video games, and a lot of us weren't going to be able to finish.
Weird straight. He the dude working hard, spreading the notes. Respect, dog.
Hey, and so our teacher, we all were making a complaint that we weren't gonna finish the game, right? He said, all right. He was deciding to teach us how to juggle at the time too, like just as a little fun trick. And he would teach us like these bean bags. And he said, okay. He's like, you can either finish your video game and you can have the potential to get an A, or if you can juggle for 35 seconds minimum to a full minute straight without dropping any ball, you get an automatic B, but your grade will not be higher than a B. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. No. I'm gonna tell you right now. I took that B and ran with it.
In the computer tech class?
Yep, I took that. It was a video game class. We were designing a video game, and I didn't have enough time to make everything work the way I wanted to.
Oh, so you were taking a programming class?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I took that B2.
Yeah, I took that B and ran with it.
Program is hard. Paid a guy with McDonald's for a few months in college just to help me. Like, damn, he cheap. Listen, bro. Like in college, meals like McDonald's is rich.
Meals go a long way. In college, meals go a long way. You can get me with anything if you say I'll feed you. I had a homegirl of mine. She paid me in Taco Bell lunch and dinner because to help her move out. She's like, she flat out messaged me, straight up said, "Hey, yo, Maye, can you come help me move? I'll pay you lunch and dinner, wherever you want to go." I said, "Bet." What I'm moving. I was like, "What I'm moving, and is anything heavy?"
That part.
That's all I need to know. But
I can tell you, and speaking of having to carry anything, let's talk about Stevenson for a little bit.
Hey,
over this win over UVA.
Hey,
no lie, I knew a kid who had a guy write a few exams for him, physics class, had an upper level engineer student pull it off. He just wrote the other person's name on it. It'd be like that.
Teamwork made the dream work.
Like the engineering is ridiculous.
Teamwork made the dream work.
I seen some of those equations they use for engineering. I looked at them. I'm like, I don't know how y'all survive. I hated looking at chemistry equations already.
Man, don't get me started. But let's get to Stevenson because we are already over our 2 hour minute.
Yeah, we've been over. So first of all, Jaron Stevenson had the best game of this season so far. 17 points, 6 for 9, 2 for 3 from 3-point, and both of those 3-pointers coming in the clutch, and 3 for 3 in the free throw, all in the second half.
Hey,
good ball,
all in the second half. That's the crazy part. We needed it. Hey, he came off when we needed him to. Came off the bench and did what he had to do.
Caleb Wilson has broke Tyler Hansborough's record for most 20-point games by a freshman.
Nice.
With another 20-point performance, 8 for 12 from the field, 4 from 6 from free throw, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. And Seth Trimble is still making a tough run as he comes back from that broken forearm. 16 points, 5 from 6 from the field, 2 for 2.
Hey.
From 3-point, 4 from 6 from free throw, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Like one, I think I said it before. Seth Trimble is going to be the key to us winning games this season.
For sure.
Seth Trimble has been playing his ass off. Would have thought UNC would be a second half team this year. I mean, second half in games for sure. They're definitely a one half or the other.
They gotta show me that they're gonna be good this second half of the season.
Yeah,
they have games. They gotta continue to show me.
They are not there yet. Sure.
But shoot, backing that up to go to the other side. Our ladies, man, on a hot streak right now. Cause right now, the UNC women, they on a 4-game win streak, and they just took down Georgia Tech and Syracuse this past week as well. Continue their 4-game win streak. And man, when I tell you, the Georgia Tech game was a grind. Both teams shot bad, bro. I mean, bad. Bro, UNC shot 29% from the field. Georgia Tech shot 32. UNC shot 22% from 3. Georgia Tech shot 10.
God.
This is the score. Bro, first and second quarter, at halftime, it was tied 24-24. We each scored 12 points in the first and second quarter. Third quarter, our girls score 13. Their girls score 6. Fourth quarter, we scored 17. Their girls scored 16. It was a grind of an ugly game. Not even gonna hold you.
So to add to this, right? So to add to this, we actually continued the streak again because we just beat Syracuse this past Sunday.
That's what I just said.
77-71.
Yeah, I said that. I said Syracuse and G Tech.
Okay, I remember you said Georgia. I heard Georgia Tech. I didn't hear the Syracuse.
Yeah, because Georgia Tech was the first win, and then Syracuse was the second win. That's what. But it was
we had to win that one in OT.
Bro, here's the thing about the Georgia Tech game. This is how it was bad.
See, this is what happens when Syracuse is right there. Anyway,
Lady Grant, 11 points. She went 2 of 9 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 6 of 7 from the free throw line.
That guy from the 50s playing in the NBA. That's how bad it was.
Bro, it was a bad game on both sides, but our girls pulled it out. Because, like, Lady Grant, It's like Sierra Tomei, 9 points. She went 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-pointer. She had 15 rebounds though. Shout out to Maye, bro. 15 rebounds, crazy. Renaya Kelly,
at least get the ball back.
hey, Renaya Kelly, 11 points, 2 of 14 from the field.
Good.
2 of 6 from 3, but she went 5 of 6 from them free throws. So
That's
she was
good.
good. Okay. And here's how you know it was bad. India Nivar went scoreless, and Nyla Harris only put up 6.
Yeah, nah, that's bad.
But to follow that up with the Syracuse game, Nyla Harris showed up. And honestly, the whole squad showed up because Nyla Harris, she went with 21 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 5 of 5 from 3, had 11 rebounds to go with it. So a nice double-double, 20 and 10, with 2 steals to boot. Lainey Grant came up again. She had 17 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3-point range with 2 assists. To make Sierra, hey, she had as many points. Well, actually, she had about the same amount, 6 points. She went 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3.
Rebounds,
but she got 10 rebounds.
I know we're talking about the one, but the way it looks like it looks. I talked to some people. UNC may be a favorite for Mingo now.
Hey, maybe. And then Renaya Kelly, she showed up to the party, 11 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3 with 2 rebounds and 6 assists. And then India Nivar, after going scoreless, bounced back, 10 points, 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point range, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And our ladies move to 17-5 on the year, 6-3 in the ACC, currently tied for 4th in the ACC. And they're ranked 23rd in the coaches poll, but just outside the top 25 in the AP poll. So our ladies are doing their thing, man. So shout out to the ladies and shout out to the fellas.
Let me point something else out that the UNC women's team is doing much better than the men's team is.
Free throws.
Both games, the women shot at least 70% or higher free throw wise. When we beat Virginia, we shot 68%. We have been an abysmal free throw shooting team this season.
God dang Kobe.
God dang Kobe.
Looking like
because I haven't seen us shoot free throws this bad in God knows how long.
Since the Nixon administration.
Because when we beat Notre Dame, to beat Notre Dame, we shot 69% against Notre Dame.
Oh, Lord.
California, 60% against California. 62% against Stanford.
It's tragic.
66% against Wake Forest. Like, we can't continue to go into these games and shoot free throws as abysmally as we've been shooting free throws.
No, we cannot.
And we will not win a championship shooting free throws this bad.
If we do, it's by luck, not by skill.
If we do, that's exactly it. We do. They lost. They lost the game to us. That's what happened.
Like, if we do, it's gonna be by luck, not by skill. Kyan Evans and Luka done pulled a set it off on us and got away with a $2 million apiece. Listen, I don't know. Maybe they'll show up in the second half of the season.
Bogovac is bothering me. At least with Kyron Evans, I don't know. Point wise, he ain't doing so hot, but
Bogovac does annoy me.
Bogovac has been a problem.
He is annoying. But with that being said, we got one last thing. And I know we've been doing the best draft challenge the last couple of weeks. This one's going to be a little different. So I got this one for you. And this one is actually, it's going to be this.
We only have 4 players on the entire team with over 70% free throw percentage.
So we're going to go with this. Start one, bitch one, cut one.
Ooh.
College football edition.
Ooh.
You ready? And I saw this earlier, so I had to ask you. And I saved it. I made sure not to send it to you. You got it. All right. Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry, Reggie Bush.
Starting AP, benching Derrick Henry in that order.
What?
Wait. College or professional level?
College.
Starting Reggie, benching AP, cutting Derrick Henry.
Okay. We on the same board. Like, see, James had the same.
I get it.
James had the
I
same
understand.
response.
I understand. I immediately went to NFL. I went to pro level. That's why I did it that way.
Like,
I immediately went to NFL.
boy,
I misunderstood.
You had me. Oh, you about to have me shooketh. I was about to sit here and be like, oh man. You had me shooketh for 2 seconds, bro. You had me shooketh.
Listen, like I said, my brain. As soon as I heard AP, I immediately went to pro level.
I was like, bro, what?
Because like I said, I was unfamiliar with AP's game in college.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know who Adrian Peterson was at all before the NFL. I had no idea who he was.
That's kind of crazy because he was literally in the Heisman running.
Yeah, never heard his name, not one time.
Wow, because I knew about that man in Arkansas.
Yeah, I didn't even know he went to Arkansas.
Yep, Arkansas Razorbacks.
I mean, I knew later that he went to Arkansas, but like up until he got to the NFL, I had no idea.
Wait, how you not know him? And he played against Georgia.
Had no idea who he was. None whatsoever. I didn't even care who Adrian Peterson was. I was like, I didn't care who Georgia played. This is before I really was paying attention.
Oklahoma. Thank you, Quan. Oklahoma. My fault.
This was like when at this point, this was before I was really starting to pay attention to college football, because at that point, I basically picked Georgia at that point because I was spiting everybody in my school. Because everybody in my school was either South Carolina or Clemson, and so I picked Georgia just to piss everybody off.
Quan right though, it was Oklahoma. I got the colors mixed up. They rocked the same colors.
Yeah,
they literally rocked the same colors.
Welcome back, Slav. I didn't even know you left. Thought you were just like hiding in the shadows.
But bro, like they made it seem like it was hard, but I was in the same boat, and I kept trying to think of. Sloth is right.
Yeah.
But
South Carolina would be the I mean, they were good those Sidney Rice years. I guess you didn't watch the Boise State versus Oklahoma game. It's one of the biggest upsets in college football. I remember seeing the Statue of Liberty play. I do remember seeing that, but no, I didn't watch that game.
I did.
Like I said, at that time, I was not invested in college football at all at that time.
That game was wild. I remember watching that game
at all. Adrian Peterson was on that Oklahoma team. I figured as much, but yeah.
No, listen, Quad. There's no saving him. When that man say he don't know, that man don't know.
No, like I said, it wasn't anything against Adrian Peterson and nothing like that. And like I said, at this point in time in my life, college football was meh. NFL football was up here. So I paid attention to the pros and all that. I didn't pay no attention to college football.
But
like I knew about Reggie Bush because I saw all the highlight videos.
Oh, listen, bro.
I knew about Derrick Henry later because Derrick Henry was after I started paying attention to college football. Man, them early Florida teams was different in the 2000s. Bump Florida, they are terrible and will forever be terrible. I don't care what nobody says.
Oh, don't that man. I could have said college quarterbacks. If I had brought up a certain quarterback, this man would have cut. This man would have cut a certain quarterback regardless.
Yeah, because I got into college football around the No Sean Marino years is when I got into college football.
But he know how to hate Tim Tebow.
Always, because I hate Tim Tebow like I hate Tom Brady in football. Y'all got special treatment and nobody wanted to acknowledge it.
I don't say that. College Tebow was like that. College Tebow was like that.
Whatever.
Sir.
Anyway.
Sir, statistically speaking, college Tebow was like that.
Anyway.
Tar Heel birthdays this week. Shout out to offensive lineman Byron Nelson if he's still here. I haven't changed. I haven't updated the list. I got to update it for this upcoming year. So if you're still here, Byron,
cheater. So was Tim Tebow. Anyway,
where did Tebow cheat?
There's a whole video clip of them moving that ball a foot and a half.
Where?
Give that man a first down he did not get.
Where? This man really about. I shouldn't have asked y'all. Okay. Wait. Start one, bench one, cut one. Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson, or Tavon Austin. I ain't gonna lie. I'm starting Tavon Austin. If you know, you know. I'm starting Tavon Austin. I think I'm cutting Julio. Actually, damn. Because Julio was nice in Alabama. But Calvin, I got to cut Julio because Calvin Johnson was the only thing Georgia Tech had and as a receiver, and Calvin Johnson was still making plays like that. Wearing number 21, yeah, I got to cut Julio. I'm starting Tavon Austin, though. Or Tavon Austin. Like, that man is a whole meme for a reason.
That is so. I'm about to say, because Calvin Johnson was a dog, bro.
Like I said, and that's when Georgia Tech was still running the triple option, bro.
Right.
That's why I said Calvin Johnson, one of them was, bro. Like,
I'm mad this is the clip that I got. That's terrible.
Listen, Quan, I get it. However, Tavon Austin was not only the receiver, Tavon Austin was a whole highlight reel in every part of the game. Like, bro.
So I have the clip, but it's like somebody recording it on a phone from a TV screen. It's bad.
But now we'll go into our favorite segment, though.
I didn't even answer. Like, God. I'm probably gonna go start Calvin, bench Austin, and cut Julio. Right. And I don't even want to cut Julio. So I'm a Tar Heel, but Calvin Johnson's my all-time favorite receiver.
He's in my top 10.
Like Calvin's in my top 10. Yeah, Calvin's my top 10 for sure.
Calvin's in my top 10 because
I probably put him top 5 for me.
I had to think, but he's definitely top 10 because when it comes to unguardable, especially in the pros, like the best of the best, when we talk about unguardable, and he's got one of the coldest nicknames in pro history. I don't care. Megatron's one of the coldest nicknames to have, bro. But shoot. It's now
Calvin Johnson was a whole. If it wasn't for the injuries.
Here's the thing. Remember, he retired early.
Yeah, because he didn't have any ankles left.
What could have him and Stafford deserved to win a ring together?
They really did. They really did.
But now it's time for our Tar Heel takeaway.
That's why he retired, because he had no cartilage left in his ankles or his knees. It was bone on bone at that time.
I gotta go look that back up.
Cause I think they did an interview. It was like his wife was saying it, and he said it. Like he'd go out on the field and they'd have to do injections in his ankles like almost every other like that. Like, they couldn't do it. But it's your turn. You up?
Oh Lord! All right, Tar Heel takeaway of the week. Honestly, bro, vast weather changes suck. Hope everybody's safe from the storm. people who are like, especially further south, are like, oh, are y'all really went out there and were prepared and get all this for no snow? You look stupid. Shut up. It's better to be prepared than unprepared. So if you went out, bought a bunch of water, bought a bunch of stuff to prepare for the storm, good on you for taking the chance to be proactive instead of reactive. Rather have it not need it than need it and not have it. And honestly, I got this random sickness literally kicked in, I think, Saturday, Sunday. I think I got it from work. So it's been kicking my butt. And I don't like it. But it's not like I'm truly sick. It's just my nose running. And it's annoying. So can't stand it. The drastic weather change didn't help. Hope y'all stay safe out there. And I'm pretty sure y'all can tell, like, I'm there, but I'm also not there. So that's my Tar Heel takeaway of the week. Be safe. Love y'all. Hope everybody still has power and you're still doing your thing.
Guess it's my turn. Tar Heel takeaway of the week. Stop panic buying milk and bread. Stop it. Because one, that milk's going to go bad regardless. Even if your power go out, even if it's cold, that milk going to go bad. Unless you put the milk outside in the cold, in the ice and snow that you got, it's going to go bad. Like, I don't know what makes y'all think it's going to change. Then with the bread, yeah, sure, the bread may last a little longer than that milk, but you don't need 7 loaves of bread. You don't. If you got a house with a fire pit with a fireplace in it, or if you know how to build a fire. Do that. Cook on it, all that. Go buy you a grill, buy you some charcoal, get you a gas grill, get you a charcoal grill, whatever you're going to do. You cook on that. Find a way, get you a propane heater. Go get you, not a propane, what is it? Kerosene heater. Just don't fall asleep with it on or fall asleep within 5 feet of it because you will pass out and it'll be the worst experience you've ever had. But you'll be warm. Just know there are other methods than buying the entire store's worth of milk and bread. Butane heaters, right. There's options. Get you a camping heater. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. There's plenty of options here. Milk and bread ain't all of it. I promise you. Because if I want to make a sandwich in my non-emergency stove or my non-emergency situation and all the bread gone, I swear I'm gonna have a conniption in these stores. I'm not getting hot dog buns. And that's the other thing. All the bread y'all could have bought, y'all not buying hot dog buns, y'all not buying hamburger buns, y'all not buying crescent rolls, y'all not buying nothing. Y'all are buying regular schmegular loaves of bread. There are different bread baked products that y'all could have got. But all the loaves of bread though, even the cheap, even the Wonder Bread, the Sunny Bread, Stole Brand, use lettuce for your bread. You could do that. Get tortilla. You ain't even buy tortillas. Y'all are just buying loaves of bread. There, other. I ain't even go. I'm done. Use other options. Diversify your danger portfolios, please, because that way at least there's more stock in the aisles by the time the Armageddon hits for everybody to get their chance to survive.
I mean, it'll be exploded by the time the Armageddon hits because the Armageddon's going to take them all out.
I said chances to survive. I didn't say we were all going to live. Just give us a chance.
I think you're just mad because you didn't get bread.
No, I had bread, but that's not the point. Old-fashioned margarita, that's what exactly.
You got bread next week?
I'm just saying, because like I'm tired of having these situations and going to the store to get regular smuggler stuff. I may be out of bread over here. I just need a loaf of bread for regular smuggler stuff. The whole aisle is out everywhere.
Yeah, because everybody wanted regular smuggler bread.
You can get hamburger buns, hot dog buns, tortillas. You can get crescent rolls.
When's the last time you ate a peanut butter and jelly on a hot dog bun?
That's not the point. The point is
that is exactly my point. See, you mad at something and you ain't even doing it. I'm like, when's the last time you ate a peanut butter and jelly on a hot dog bun? Get out of here.
because I haven't had to.
Exactly, and they ain't trying to either.
I'm talking about in emergency situations like this when all the bread is gone.
Maybe you could buy it. Why don't you buy the hot dog buns and the hamburger buns?
But normally when I buy hot dogs, I want hot dog buns.
But and what's
want
wrong with
hot
them
dogs,
wanting the
hot dogs.
same thing?
Because at the end of the day, if we're all looking for bread, I'm not looking for bread when I go.
So why is
I'm out of bread at the house?
they have to stop buying regular bread because you don't want to do what you recommend people do, which is buy the other buns?
I'm saying stop buying 4 and 5 loaves of regular bread.
They might have frozen, but then again, that would
Not at all.
bad.
Not at
Freezing.
all.
I just found out recently, freezing bread is actually a bad thing.
I'll say because
It dries it out and stuff. But you bet you got practice next week or a game next week?
next week, I don't think on a Tuesday. Let me see. I do on Monday and Thursday.
All right, so you good Tuesday?
Yeah, I got Monday, Thursday, and Friday next week. So yeah, I'll be good Tuesday.
All right, y'all know the deal. Jordan's here 9:15 next Tuesday. We'll be right back here with another episode of North Carolina Tar Heels Live. Thank y'all for joining us. Co-host, sign us out here.
Y'all stay safe out here. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.